All right. We are back on the main channel. After 2.5 months, we are back over here doing an episode of ABL Live. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate you. It's been a long time since I've been over on the proper channel. I thank you all for joining. I'm going to keep the other channel afloat. Might put some just other kind of content on there so I don't just leave it totally abandoned. But I thank you all for being here on this channel right now. I really and truly appreciate it. We got quite a few topics on deck for tonight. Hopefully everybody can see what's happening. You can see what's going on. Let me go and get to talk to a few people. Alrighty. Yes, we are back in the building. We got quite a few topics on deck for tonight. The new Donald Trump probe. Are they going to find anything this time? I seriously doubt it. They didn't find anything the last time, so why they going to find something now? The Blexit recap. That was a fantastic event that I attended. We could talk about that a little bit more tonight. R. Kelly acting a cold fool on, what was that, GMA with Gayle King. Is he going to go to jail because of the new allegations? How about our child support? What's really going to happen with our Mr. Kelly? Who knows what's going to go down? AOC and Rashida Tlaib calling Lynn Patton a token for being at the hearings. Trump Kim 2.0, what will come of that? We'll talk about all that on today's episode of ABO Live. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. It's good to be back. Have been over here in quite a while as far as any kind of just regular live streaming with the show. So I thank y'all for joining. I did my 2.5 month bid and I'm back. You know, they were going to say it was over on March 17th, but I got it back, I think, right on the 1st of March. And then I was down in, I was up in Richmond, Virginia. So I was able to do my first live stream in 2.5 months from there when I streamed Blexit. So I'm glad to be back over here. Thank y'all for joining. Yes, please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. It really helps out a lot. I'd appreciate it if you did so. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Who we got? We got Feral Inferno, Chuck My Ad, DJ, Beater Bajuk, The Fit Accountant, David Ray, Mikey Likes It, Gabrielle 69, YYC UAV, Paul Martin, Willman 757, Matt McKee, Jeff Sears, Will Redding, Misfits 648. Let me see. Ganos, American Patriots, Forgotten Country, what's going on? Big Burt, Shreebs, what's going on? Poodle Dog, what's happening? Kingdom Guy 44, Wisconsin Girl, Quark, Robert Hawthorne. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, the Trump probe is just it's just more of the same. They didn't find anything with the Russia investigation with Bob Mueller, so now they gotta just go to the next thing. Now they gotta try to find something from this, but it ain't gonna be nothing there either. So it's just it's a purposeless probe as far as actually finding anything, because they're not gonna find anything. If they're gonna find anything, then they would already have it, but it's just not the case. Thank you, Jennifer Hutton. I appreciate it. Friends, I'm glad you're here, boss. You know, I think I put like a little notification on the other channel because I know people be over there, you know, because I've been using that for a while now. People got accustomed to being over there for the for the stream. But I may keep that channel afloat. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll do the stream over there. Maybe I won't. But for right now, I'm right here, over here. And I just want to thank y'all for joining. It really helps out a lot. What I probably do on the other channel is put other content. Maybe I might do some actual game streams over there and more entertainment related news over on ABL Gaming, because the goal for that is to keep the channel going. Oh, okay. Thank you, Feral Inferno. I didn't even notice that. Let me go ahead and fix that right quick. That can be a pretty simple thing. You guys give me 1 second. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's go ahead and chat box. Okay. And we should be able to do this like that. There we go. Boom. Good money. Did I announce what on this channel? Friends, hey man, hey, that's what happens. Sometimes it is what it is, man. You gotta take care of that, friends. I don't know what to tell you, man. Yes, please hit the like button. Shout out to Marley Montega from DC, Dresden STL. Shout out to you. Yeah, Michael. The thing about Michael, he's experiencing just some of the same things that other people are experiencing that get charged with things later in life, or they're just accused of things later in life. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a complicated situation. But as far as the media reaction, they're just reacting to PR. That's all. It ain't really an indictment on him. It's a matter of just PR, just kind of like knee-jerk reactions. Blexit to Charlotte. Hey, we're going to have some more Blexit rallies. Cleveland. And not only will there be more Blexit rallies, I'll probably do some tours on my own. I might bring some guys that I know along with me to some of the events. But definitely, I'll be attending more Blexit rallies. They're going to have one in DC, Chicago, and Dallas. That's all I know so far. That's on their website. There may be other rallies if it calls for it, because the Richmond rally, I don't think that was on the docket. That came about because of the whole Ralph Northam thing, you know, and she was going to be in Virginia anyway. Candace, that is, because of CPAC and some other stuff. So it just made sense to have that rally right there in Richmond. It was perfect timing. Kevin for Kevin's Corner. Hey, if I could bring Kevin, if I could bring a lot of these people, you know, I definitely do it. I'll talk, you know, we all talk to each other. You know, Will Johnson, Kevin for Kevin's Corner, David Harris Jr., Brandon Tatum. We all talk to each other. So I definitely like to be able to bring more guys with me, by myself or whatever it is. Rapper 10,000 says, have I heard that in the UK, some Muslim parents want to battle against their schools teaching LGBT talks? I think I did hear about that. I may do a video about that. Yeah, I mean, they're dealing with a demographics issue over there, and it's just kind of like taking over. Hey, if I can go be on Diamond and Silk, that'd be great. If I could bring them, or if they could bring me, that'd be fantastic. I think they're going to be in Atlanta too. Now, Black and Iris, crazy chick, did you go to Blexit? If you went to Blexit, let me know. It was a fantastic time. You know, not only for the actual event itself, but it was also great afterwards. Like when we had a dinner with some people, with Brandon and my man Rob Smith and a lot of other guys that were there. It was great. It's a great thing to talk to people that are on the same page with you. You don't have to be trying to be PC, and you can respect each other and still have a serious conversation about real issues that are affecting you every day. You know, you can wear your MAGA hats. You can wear your Trump shirts. You can talk about gender in the real way. All that. So it is what it is. Yeah, the ban is over. My ban got ended about 17 days early. And shout out to everybody in the building already donating. I really thank you. Thank you for that. Happy Ash Wednesday. I've never known what Ash Wednesday actually is. But I've seen that before, but I don't know what it is. So shout out to everybody. Thank you all to the super chats already. We got Chuck My Ad who says Rashida comments or Omar comments. Rashida Tlaib talking about Lynn Patton as a token for standing behind, what's my man's name? The congressman, what's his name? Mark Meadows, standing behind Mark Meadows while the testimony was going on from Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, because Trump, Michael Cohen was trying to say that Trump was a racist. And she was there to just have a presence and be there for her friend. And she already previously stated that he's not a racist. If he were a racist, then she would not work for him. She was there to give support. People said that she was a token, and that's the only reason why she was there. And she was being used like she had no free will of her own. So Rashida Tlaib said that, and then AOC co-signed it on Twitter. But then they'll say that we are the party over the racists and the bigots and all this and that and the third. Very interesting. So that's that. And what else we got? Hold on right now. I'm going to read some of the comments until after I get all the links put out. Let's see what else we got here. Shout out to, hold on, Will Redding, who says, Boss Calter is working out the math on that abacus with a broken string. Okay. Fit Khan says, little something for your time for Pasadena, California. Keep up the good work, Patriot. Hey, I thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Gina Fuente says, hello from your friend in Southern California. Shout out to you from Southern California. Hopefully everything cheers up there. Hopefully you guys can get that area a little bit more conservative than it is. I know how it is out there. You know, you out there, LA County, even Orange County or San Diego or something like that, it can be a mess. So, hey, hopefully everything improves. I thank you for your donation. Shout out to Lee Poor, who says, God bless, brother, keep it up. Well, God bless you as well. Thank you for your donation. And my man Mike from Queens says, Twitter at Milo Russo. You guys can see it right there, right over my shoulder. Hit him up. Shout out to my man Mike from Queens. 1,000%. All right. Let me go ahead and put this on my social media here. But yeah, Blexit was great. It was a fantastic event. I want to go to more. I wanted to go to CPAC too, but I kind of like didn't really know about it all the way until it was a little bit too late to be going. And then I would have been gone for a while if I wanted to do CPAC and then Blexit, because I would have had to have left like Tuesday and then come back Monday. So you'd be gone for like almost a week, but I could have done it. You know, it's not really something that's impossible. I heard CPAC was great. I saw some of Trump's speech, like a 2-hour speech. People said, oh, he was rambling. He was going all over the place. But what that tells me, when you got a man that's 72 years old and is able to give a speech for 2 hours, that's somebody that has a lot of energy, a lot of stamina, and somebody that I can trust to be the president. You know, Hillary Clinton couldn't even step out of the bed to give a concession speech to her supporters at night after she lost the election. Okay, but you got Trump up here giving 2-hour-long speeches, and he's older than Hillary Clinton. And it was funny to see Hillary Clinton come out and say, I'm not going to run, but I'm still going to be out here. Translate, what that means is, I won't run because I can't run, but I'm going to give a speech when I can get my energy up and out to bed. That's what that means. You know, who's going to be the actual nominee? I think it's going to be Kamala Harris. It really doesn't even matter for real, because they're kind of like hell bent on running establishment people. So it's going to be somebody like Kamala Harris. It doesn't even really matter. They're going to lose. It's just a matter of who's going to be the loser. That's what we should be asking. Who's going to be the loser from the Democratic Party that they put out there to run against Trump? You know, they've gone so far left. People that don't even like Trump are not even going to vote for the Democrat person because they're just so far left. You know. Okay, we got a troll already. You know, the trolls are the first people in the chat. You know, what that lets me know is that you have fans. As soon as I start the stream, a troll just is there. So they waiting on it. And I can appreciate that to a certain extent. I like to have people that support me, but be nice. How about that? Like everybody else that supports me. That's all I ask. So shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you all for joining. Shout out to the Trump parody guy. Thank you for joining, man. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah, extremes never win because they're too far over the edge. Nobody wants to really talk about, like, nobody wants to go to the far extremes. That's just not really where we are right now. That's just not what it is. Dresden SEL says Hillary for prison. No, AOC for prison. Hillary needs a roommate, a cellmate. Hilarious. Yeah, see, the Democrats are going to have an issue with the anti-Semitism bill because they're trying to talk about Israel. See, like a kind of what's becoming a core tenet on the left is being anti-Israel. And that's going to be very difficult because they are talking about the right always being the party of the white supremacists and neo-Nazis and KKK. The neo-Nazis have always been associated with anti-Semitism. So at a certain point, they're going to have to drop some things to say about us. If the right are the ones that are always going to be like Trump, which is pro-Israel, pro Benjamin Netanyahu, all kind of stuff like that, then you can't say that the right are Nazis and stuff like that and have it make any sense. To the average normie that's out there, they're going to say, wait a minute, the left is so anti-Israel, they're accusing the right of being Nazis and white supremacists that hate Jews, but yet the right are the ones defending Israel. It doesn't make any sense. All that's going to do is get more people to come on our side. We are the new tolerant people. We've always been a tolerant people, really, but now we have more of a branding of tolerance. It's kind of funny that we have a guy like Trump in there who is known to be very brash and bold. It's funny how he has become the face of the party of tolerance, and the other side is not. That's funny how that works, but that's what TDS does to you. It makes you do really crazy and weird things. And the crazy and weird thing is to reveal your own true identity. It's like a vampire that always wears a disguise. It'd be crazy for you to take the disguise off and show who you are, but that's what they're doing right now. They're showing who they are. Investigate AOC. Yeah, I saw that. They're talking about campaign finance. Now, I wanted to do a video about that, but I'm not quite sure I have enough information to do one, but it doesn't really look too good for her. The funneling money from a PAC to an LLC is not necessarily a crime, or it's actually not a crime. But the problem is when you're talking about campaign finance, like, okay, if you have a PAC that you are in control of, and then you take the money and move it to a private business you're also in control of, and you don't reveal that and you don't disclose that, that could be a problem. You got to be transparent with your stuff. And she's talking about dark money and all this, that, and the third. Well, it's dark when you move it from a PAC to an LLC, private company. That's outside of the peer review of review. So, that's dark money right there. You can be doing anything with that money. Don't nobody know what you're doing with the money because that's not up for review. Now they're trying to get Donald Trump's tax returns to see what he did with his own private money. But AOC, people like that, are they going to reveal their information? Are they going to reveal their private business information? I mean, what's really going on? Yeah, I'm not really sure what it's called, Edgar. I'm not really sure exactly what you would label that, but it could be improper. That's why you got to investigate it and see what's going on. Yeah, AOC out here getting like 20,000 and change, like 25, 29,000 in Uber rides and all kind of stuff. But at the same time, she's talking about, we got to get rid of cars. We got to get rid of, no planes. And it's like, come on, man, what are we talking about here? You live right, you're right by the metro. I've been in DC. The metro is right there. You can get around without having to rack up a whole bunch of money in, private vehicles like that. So, it's weird how socialists always talk about how much people should resort to kind of austerity, living on low amount of money, living on low resources. But then when you see their actual lives, you're seeing crazy bills. You're seeing $20,000, $50,000 for Uber. You're seeing this big office is unnecessarily more expensive. You're paying like $24,000 more a year for an office, having it renovated, having murals painted. You spending all kind of lavish amounts of money on your staff. You doing all these things to make yourself and people around you rich, essentially, or to give them more money. But the average person, you want to live on less. Talking about people should have less kids. It shouldn't be flying in planes. But you get to do all that, right? That's how socialism works. You live like a king or a queen in the case of an AOC. But the average normie, you living like you're homeless, even though you have a job and you had a job for the past 30, 40 years and make a lot of money. And once you live like you have nothing, they have everything. Yeah, no cheeseburgers, all that good stuff. It's like, come on, man. Like, I want my burger. Exactly, Pepper Pepe. You're taking a burger from my cold Dan heads. I'm keeping my burger. It ain't going nowhere. For sure. If I want a whole basketball team and a reserve on the bench worth of kids, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be listening to AOC, another old commie, another ordinary commie, AOC. Burger lives matter, 1,000%. What's going on, Zipporah? Hey, did you see the football team that came to the White House and Trump gave them some more fast food? This time he had Chick-fil-A. That was great. I say, get him a Nobel Peace Prize for giving these kids Chick-fil-A. I mean, look, people can say whatever they want about, he should have given them a better meal. When you go to the White House, you're not necessarily eating the meal, really. You're eating like finger food anyway. Most of the food does not even get eaten. You're not really there. Like, you're not really going to eat the food for real. You eat a little bit of it, but not really. Like, if you go to the White House, it's not going to be a meal there for you most of the time. It's going to be just little fancy food. So if I got some Chick-fil-A, I'm definitely going to eat that. There's no problem. There's no, I'm not beyond eating Chick-fil-A at all. It's delicious to me. I had some recently. It's a few days ago. It's great. And I'm mad when I can't go to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday because that's when you got the taste for it the most. You're driving around. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, hey, man, I'm kind of hungry. Chick-fil-A open, and then you just realize, oh, it's Sunday. I can't go there. Yes, please like the video. Give me a thumbs up on the video. I really appreciate that. If you just like the video, share the video as well. That helps out tremendously. I definitely would appreciate you for that. And what else we got going on? Oh, shout out to Super Chatters. We got some more people in the building. Shout out to St. Miles who says, aloha from Hawaii. Keep up the good work. I thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Ian Moon says, Hawaii is trying to amend the Constitution by Second Amendment. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. To do something like that, it's going to take a big time. It's going to be so much you got to do that. It wouldn't really be possible. One state couldn't do anything. You got to have a lot of people, a lot of different procedures to have to go the way of those that are trying to change the Second Amendment. It just will be too much to actually try to do at once. And thank you to Valerie Rogers for the donation. Jose Albert says Michael Cohen looks like Ben Stiller body double. They do kind of favor each other. Shout out to you for the donation. Shout out to Juan Jose who says left are working for Satan, Latino for Trump, MAGA 2020. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. And I agree 1000%. CH says make Marvel great again. Boycott Captain Marvel. I've not seen that movie, but when I saw the preview for it, on the Avengers movie they had it at the end of, I was like, okay, I'm not really sure what's going on here. This might not really be for me, but I haven't seen it yet, and I don't know a lot about it outside of the preview. So hopefully it's not going to be too much of a stinker, because at a certain point, I might want to go see that. Maybe I'll see it when it comes to Netflix or something like that. Who knows? Yeah, I might see it. I might do like a review or something, because I don't know a lot about it outside of just what I've been reading. I've not seen any trailers except for what I saw at the end of the movie. I've not seen like an official movie trailer, like where they show scenes and all that kind of good stuff. Brie Lawson said she does not want white men reviewing the film. Wow. Okay. I mean, the like where have we gone as a country? I'm not really sure what's really happening here. I don't know. With me, I like movies that others may not like, but I'm not really sure about Captain Marvel. Sometimes you have these movies that are kind of hit and miss. I did not like the last Avengers that came out. I don't like mashup movies at all. I don't care what it is. I don't like mashup stuff. I like things that have more of a singular focus. That was my problem. If it was more of a singular focus, it would have been great. I don't want to have a Black Panther part of the movie. Give me a Black Panther movie where it's singular focused. Black Panther was better than the Avengers because of the simple fact that Black Panther was singularly focused. Okay. And shout out to Roger Sloan, who says, checking in for South Carolina. Thank you for your donation. Sean McKinnon says, amazing. Justin Lee Peterson. Shout out to my man JLP for sure. All right, we're about to get these phone lines open in just a moment. Sean Mayer says, ABL, what is the last book you read? Just curious. Thanks for all the hard work. I'm not really sure. I'm not really too much of a book reader anymore. I spend a lot of my time reading articles, op-eds, news stories. Like, most of my day is spent reading, stuff like that. I don't really have a lot of time to read, like, books. I think I read The Blade Runner on a plane. Last time I read a book was Blade Runner on the plane. Yeah, like, if I'm reading, it's more like fiction. Yeah, just entertainment at this point. I have a lot of books that I can refer to. Do I have War and Peace? I think I do have War and Peace. Stuff like that I have, but most of my time is spent reading articles at this point. A lot of news websites. And I may be doing my own website here pretty soon with my own articles. I write a lot of articles as well. Like, a lot of times in my comment, in my description box, I write an article in there for SEO purposes. So I spend a lot of time reading and writing myself. Sean McKinnon says they let in the Muslim migrants in France, and Charlie Hebdo was attacked for criticizing Muhammad. Alrighty. The Bible Every Day. That's a good book to read with my 757. Okay, let's go ahead and get her going here. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let's hope Skype does right and starts up properly. Hey, there you go. It worked perfect. Perfectly fine. I didn't have any problems with... Well, I always got to fix my ringer. That's something that always happens. But let me go ahead and fix that right now. Did you guys see R. Kelly's interview on, what was that, Good Morning America with Gayle King on CBS? That was really just off the rails. I mean, he was all over the place. But you know what? I think his performance just kind of let me know that he has some guilt there. That's what I think. I don't think anything else, really. He's back in jail now because of child support. But, I'm not surprised at all. Mike from Queens, what's happening?
What's up, Anthony? How you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Good to hear. Hey, there was an article yesterday in the Daily Mail. There's a guy out there that was he actually was on Michael Savage's podcast today, and he was talking about on how Michael Cohen could possibly get whacked in jail because of the fact that in jail a lot of from what I'm understanding, what he was saying was that the inmates don't like rats, obviously.
Yeah.
And some of the inmates have supported Trump. So if he gets sent to a federal prison and he's in general population, there's a good chance he may get whacked. So he made the point that what Trump should do is just pardon Michael Cohen. So because if he does get whacked in prison, the Democrats will use that against him and blame Trump for his killing.
And that's a very good point. But the problem with that is that it was said that Michael Cohen would not accept a pardon from Trump. Now, I'm not sure how that works. I mean, can you just refuse to be pardoned? Can you refuse to be released from jail? Like, if somebody says, okay, you're pardoned, can you just say, no, I don't want to get pardoned and still serve your sentence? I'm not really sure how that works.
Yeah, well, this guy that was on his podcast today, he was his father was a cousin of the late mob boss Carlo Gambino, and his father was convicted by James Comey, and his father died in jail a few years back, and he made the point about that in light of what just recently happened with Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger was somehow transferred, I believe it was out of protective custody into general population, and what do you know? Less than 24 hours later, this was at the end of October last year, he was found dead. They whacked him.
Right. Wow.
So being that Michael Cohen is like the biggest rat right now out there, a big snitch, you know, he made a great point. He goes, he thinks if Michael Cohen gets pardoned, the Democrats will use this against Trump. It's the same thing where Trump could cure cancer, and it still wouldn't be good enough for them.
Exactly. If he was a cure cancer, they would say, well, he didn't do it for free. He still charged him money for it. It doesn't matter. He could make water turn to wine. He could walk on water. He could do whatever that human beings would desire all over the planet. It's all about just trying to obstruct. I mean, Nancy Pelosi already said that she said anything that Trump does, it doesn't matter what it is, vote no. We're going to obstruct him all the way in 2020 and beyond. That's the whole game plan. But see, the thing about that is regular people, regular normies might not like that too much because they're saying, okay, we elected you to come in here and actually get stuff done, but all you're doing is trying to obstruct. So what is your actual purpose here?
Yeah, and all of the top YouTubers, a lot of the top guys on YouTube, yourself, Stick Sex and Hammer, Stick Sex and Hammer put out a tweet this afternoon. I said it 3 years ago that the Democratic Party, if they didn't get their act together, you'll see them imploding by 2020. And you know what? Everybody who said that, it's coming. It's happening.
Because absolutely.
Because of the far left element that's in the party right now.
That's right, 100%.
And all this stuff with Ilhan Omar with the anti-Semitism being linked to Linda Sarsour. Linda Sarsour making that statement about Pelosi about a white feminist, whatever she. I mean, she's nuts anyway. Whatever statement she made on Twitter. This is all bad optics. People that are very moderate, which is mostly the independent block of voters, they're seeing this. And, the Democrats, they're nothing. They don't have any viability anymore.
That's right.
So, all right. Well, on that note, let me get going, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You have a good night now. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks to my man Mike from Queens for the call, as always. I definitely appreciate him. And thank you all for being here. We got 263 live in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me get to some more calls. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. There is an email in the description box below if you want to come in through Skype. You can go on like Mike from Queens was just now on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen before you. Let's get to my next call. All right, Victor, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Yeah, so I'm still waiting for evidence for Russian collusion.
Hey, don't hold your breath because they already came out and said that there's no evidence of any kind of Trump-Russia collusion. They're not going to find anything. There won't be any kind of blood oath contract between the two of them. So we're going to be sitting here for a while. Might as well grab a Snickers and keep on waiting.
I'm waiting for a long time. I'm waiting for that one. I'm still waiting for the Justice Smollett evidence, and I'm still waiting for the whole video of Donald Trump saying racial stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. They've been saying that it exists for years now. It's like, all right, well, where is it at? And then my thing is, okay, people talking about, they known about it for a long time, like Omarosa. Okay, Omarosa, you were with him for like 15 years in a professional way, and you said that you known about a tape for years and years and years. So why were you still there? I mean, what are you really doing? People are just lying and making up stuff. I'm not really sure what they're going to gain from that, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. And no, that Cohen Senate trial or whatever you call it, I was so confused because I thought they brought him in to talk about his dealings with the Russians, and all I'm hearing is he's a racist. And I'm like, okay, if you so if that's, let's say hypothetically, he's a racist. What does why does that matter? I mean, you're trying to look to impeach him, right? What does him being racist have to do with him being impeached?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So anyway, the Democrat Party, man, the moderate Democrats have finally spoken up against Alexandria Cortez. I think it's when I think it deals with the whole Medicare thing, taking away private health insurance, and you're seeing a civil war that's about to break out in the Democrat Party.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much already happening. I mean, people are already talking about. I think Nancy Pelosi said, well, the new Green New Deal, whatever they call it, kind of like dismissing it like it's nothing. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's dead serious. They're really taking it serious. They want to push it through. So already on certain things, they are having disagreements. I saw this guy on Fox News today, a Democrat dude. He was talking to Harris Faulkner on Outnumbered Overtime. And then she was talking about, well, what about the Green New Deal? What about this? What about that? He was saying, well, we're not all socialists. We're not all down with the Green New Deal. Well, I can't tell because the biggest voices are talking about these things. So you guys have problems internally you got to sort out. And people on the outside looking in are seeing division. They're seeing a lack of unity. So you got to get that tightened up and squared away.
Yeah, especially when Alexandria Cortez, when the moderates came out talk against her the Medicare for all, she said, "I'm keeping a list." What do you mean about keeping a list? She really needs to be careful what she says, especially a comment like that.
Oh yeah, definitely got to be careful for sure.
Yeah. So anyways, man, you know, Kamala Harris, she's trying to win me over, man. She's trying to win me over. Now she was eating soul food with Al Sharpton. How black is that, man? How black is that?
Is that really what happened? She ate soul food with Al Sharpton?
I think it was soul food. I think they ate in Harlem, I think.
Yeah, okay. Now, I saw them, like, holding hands or something. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. What's going on here? But I didn't know the context of the situation. But, yeah, I mean, and that's kind of, like, played out at this point, you know, talking to Al Sharpton out of all people in the world. You're talking about a fossil. A lot of the people that are, you know, trying to vote now, the younger generation, have no idea who that is. You might as well bring out somebody from the grave and just reanimate them and be like, okay, this is going to be a leader. Like, who is that? You have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, in fact, if you think that's big news, man, she one upped it by saying that she's going to be the first senator of Wakanda, and did the Wakanda salute.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really kind of over the top.
Yeah. So, I mean, at first I was on the Cory Booker bandwagon, but I mean, Kamala Harris, she's showing how black she is. I think Cory Booker was what you need to do, probably eat some watermelon fried chicken.
Let's go out and do the whole thing. Do a dance routine, you know, just play some basketball outside with your shirt off and all that good stuff, man. Show you how black you really are.
Yeah. Also, did you hear about the Joe Rogan podcast with Tim Pool and Twitter?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I like what Tim Pool was doing. He was asking pretty hard questions, but my only critique would be, okay, is it going to change anything? Because the way Twitter does, they'll come out and do stuff like this to say that they are trying to engage with people and trying to, you know, reach out to the other side. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, they still are a big-time liberal company. They're still going back to San Francisco, where you got all the liberal stuff at. It's the headquarters of liberalism right there in San Fran. So they're still going to be right there. Will anything change? A lot of good questions were asked, and we were able to see what's going on. We were able to see how things don't really add up. One thing that I like that Tim Pool pointed out was when they're talking about the Proud Boys, and then the girl said that they got classified as a terrorist group by the FBI or something like that, but that wound up not being true. And she kept saying it, but it's not true. It was debunked by the mainstream media. It was a mischaracterization of an FBI report. Okay. And then they're talking about Antifa. She kept relying on the whole thing of, well, it's not centralized. Like, these people have been media trained for sure. They knew where everything was going to go, and they had questions prepared. So people like myself and the others, we were able to see through all the BS. We know what's going on. We know that the bias is there. It's confirmed. It's just a matter of will they change anything or not. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I also like how he really point out the hypocrisy. How he point out specific things that happen, like with the Covington boy, how people were literally calling for violence against them, and they did not get banned, but you have other people that didn't call for violence, but they end up getting banned.
Right, exactly. And then they kept saying, well, it's got to get reported. It's got to get reported. Well, if you have a person that has a blue check by their name, like, surely they're going to have more monitoring on their account because of the high level visibility. You got this tweet that has like 100,000 retweets and stuff like that. So nobody saw that. Nobody from Twitter just, happened to see it. And then I find it hard to believe that with that amount of engagement, that it would not get reported at all. I mean, surely it's going to have to be, just because it has so many views on it and it's a negative thing. People can get banned for tweeting learn the code that have next to no followers, but a verified person with millions of followers won't get their account removed when they just outright tweet violence. Like, what's really going on?
Yeah, exactly. Now, there's one thing that I'm kind of questioning from Tim Pool that right now I disagree right now with him saying that, well, because you're such a big platform, the government should regulate you. Should regulate you.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I don't agree with that.
because you're saying that Twitter is taking away free speech and you don't like it, but you're calling for the government to take away their free speech.
That's correct. That's correct. See, all I want for Twitter to do is just admit what kind of company they are. Just let me know. Just be more transparent. Just say, hey, we're a liberal company. We have these particular set of rules and guidelines. So then I know how to behave on the platform, or if I want to be there at all. Like, just have the transparency. I'm not trying to change their company. I would like for the conservative bias to go away. That'd be great. But if you're not going to do that, then that's your right to do so. But just don't act like that's not going on. Don't lie to me and say that you're not biased when you are. It's very clear that you are. And by the interview they did with Tim Pool and Joe Rogan, that just was entrenched even more.
Right, exactly. And what I want to see what Twitter doing is just have the rules and apply those rules to everyone. Just stop the hypocrisy.
Right.
So anyway, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right, shout out to my man Victor for the call. Most certainly appreciate him, and thank you all for calling. I'm gonna get to all the calls as soon as I can. Let's go ahead and get to some more here. 724, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name's Justin.
All right, what's going on?
I just this is kind of like off topic that you didn't bring up in your title, but Colorado a couple days ago senator passed a bill to bypass the Electoral College. I was just getting your thought on that.
Well, that bill won't go anywhere. I mean, it's just not gonna. That's just somebody trying to resist, be part of the resistance, trying to get a few brownie points because they might put it on their resume. They say, I proposed a bill to bypass the Electoral College to keep the democracy afloat, to get Trump out of office. Like that's what they're trying to do. But that won't go anywhere.
Yeah, there's about one. I think that was they're like 13th now. There's 13 states now that have gone away with this. It's actually pretty funny to me to think about that.
Yeah, that ain't yeah.
And also, I was just laughing about the fight in between the Democratic Party. It's pretty funny. And if Trump was really smart, he would just kind of sit back and get off Twitter and just let them eat themselves, because he's going to win no matter what. Because the one side of it's too radical and the other one's still radical, but not radical enough for the left of the left, which is just hysterical to me.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty funny what's going on with them, but it's to be predicted and expected because of how left that they have become, and a lot of the new people, a lot of the young people. It's really just their own doing. It's nothing that anybody else has done. It's their fault that this is going on. So I don't feel any sympathy or none of that stuff. This is just what they have done to themselves.
And AOC, probably nothing come about it between her money laundering self, but it's actually kind of funny that she's a hypocrite in herself, saying, I don't take dark money, but showing that she takes dark money, and that was also pretty funny. And then when asked about it, she was, no, I didn't do that. And I was like, okay. I just found that funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if there's any kind of investigation and what they actually come up with. These people, these Democrats, they're all hypocrites, especially the socialist people. They're talking about, oh, you can't have this, you can't have that. Meanwhile, they have everything that they say that you can't have. You can't be flying on airplanes, and you got to preserve the environment. You can't eat hamburgers, all this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, you got her chief of staff scarfing down burgers like sloppily, no napkin, no fork or nothing, just like a straight pig. And then you got her Ubering everywhere, flying everywhere. It's just like Al Gore. Al Gore is a patron saint of climate change, yet he's flying around the world in private jets. You got this big carbon-emitting mansion with a stupid carbon footprint. That's what they do. They tell you what you can't have, and they indulge in it. It's just like somebody that's on drugs saying to you, don't do drugs. Well, how about you don't do drugs, sir?
Exactly. It's just funny that, when you just thought like, oh, look at Kamala Harris and then Elizabeth Warren and Nancy Pelosi, and you think, oh man, them ladies are crazy. And then here comes AOC out of the blue. It's pretty funny. Even Kamala Harris is still pretty radical. She wants reparations for everybody. But no, that's not radical enough. Let's just go over top.
Right, exactly.
So I appreciate it. And I haven't called in a while, so I just had to chime in and say hello to you. And hope you didn't get too much snow over there. And you have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. We actually don't have any snow here at all. It's not snowed at all since I've been here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's great weather. It rained a lot for a while, but that's it. Some areas got flooded, but not where I live at. It's been good. It's been nice weather. It's been kind of cold sometimes, like a little cold snap, but nothing like where it was in the northern part of the country. Nothing like the way it was when Jussie Smollett committed that fake hate crime. Come on, you got two big Nigerians out there in 20 degrees below. Oh, I cannot do the cold weather. The weather is too cold. We're going back home. Here's a noose around your neck. This right like a necktie. Put it around your neck right now and give us the money. Give us the check. We're going to deposit it and we're going to Nigeria today. All right, but let me get to some more calls. And shout out to everybody calling. 978, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, it's Steve Baldessari with American Patriots to God and Country. Been a while. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
Not too much. Thanks for having me on as usual. I know you're busy, so I won't keep you too long, but just wanted to touch on some of the topics in your title and say I saw you on Will Johnson's United America First video the other day, so it's good to see you guys getting together to do some videos.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Good guy.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely. He's a good man. It's good to see, it used to be like, it seems like all the African Americans were just completely manipulated by the left, and that's definitely not the case today. And I know that sounds like a generalization, but I mean, how can you say otherwise when how many of them, voted, such a high percentage would always vote Democrat? So it's good to see. For only that reason do I identify you or anyone as a African American anyway, because at the end of the day, we're all just American. But to the topics, the Trump probe is just another distraction story. It's another desperation attempt by the left because they can't find anything with all their other investigations. I think we've already talked about that. So everybody knows that's what it is. It's just really getting rather annoying, especially for people like I'm sure yourself and myself, who again, have pages, talk about this all the time. It's almost like you'd like to hear something else. You'd like to have something else be the topic that's at the forefront of the news, right? I mean, I'm sure everyone in the chat room is sick and tired of it too, right? The Trump bashing, the Trump derangement syndrome, it just has to end. It's just really getting out of control. But it's not going to end. And they're only going to progressively, quote unquote, get worse, right? Because they think they're so they think they're so amazing, and they're all about fundamental change, which is really fundamental annihilation of this country. What are your thoughts on that? And then maybe we could talk about a couple other things before I hang up.
Well, what they're going to end up doing with this TDS thing is destroy themselves. That's all that's going to happen, because people on the outside looking in, just a regular everyday person, they're not really into politics like that. The mom, the dads, the college students, a lot of them don't really understand a lot of what's happening. They see the news. They don't really, like, for a lot of people don't even watch the news. I'm a daily news watcher. I'm a daily news reader. But the average person may not really be like that. They may vote every presidential election, and that's it. And they vote pretty much just party line. Don't even know anything about the candidate that they're voting for. But when people start to see stuff here and there, or they hear about it, just weird and crazy stuff coming from the left, that might make them think twice and pay attention and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm voting for these people over here. There was one incident that happened recently where I guess it was some kind of quote unquote performance art in LA. It might have been like on Trump's walk on his star on the Walk of Fame. They had they had these guys in MAGA hats, white shirts, and tan khakis on their hands and knees with dog leashes on, and they had people in black outfits walking them, and they were barking and yelling like they were dogs. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. It was like 20 to 30 of them on the ground, like in the massive huddle. I was like, this is nasty. This is crazy. And this kind of stuff right here is why we're going to win again in 2020.
Yeah, no doubt. You made some good points there. I guess I don't think about it that way because I'm so involved like you are that it just seems so commonplace to me. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But I see what everyone else is seeing that pays attention even a little that you're talking about, and that's the move to the left of the left, like the previous caller was talking about. The socialism, the communism, the Islam, it doesn't matter how many times it all fails and causes chaos and destruction throughout countries and throughout the world's history. They just keep pushing it. It's like the same regurgitated nonsense. And you'd think that people would be bright enough to even just learn a little bit about history and maybe know one of the instances and say, well, if it didn't work there, why would it work here? Or that's not actually a religion of peace, that's a religion of violence. You know, things like that. I won't go too deep into it, but people really have to be alarmed at what we're seeing in America, and they're hijacking our system. They're using it against us, and people have to understand, well, they can't just say, well, you're going to elect these people, and it's a democracy. No, it's a republic, and we're not supposed to be ruled by tyrants. That's why we have the Second Amendment, which they're trying to take away. So that's another big thing they're pushing, and I know that's not one of your topics, but so I'll take a breath there. But yeah, the black exit is kind of what I touched on at the beginning of the call, I'd say, pertaining to, you know, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, means black people exiting the Democratic Party. That's what Candace Owens always talks about. That R. Kelly interview, that thing was a joke. He's so guilty. I mean, he just seems like he's lying and deceiving everybody in the interview. He gets hostile. You could tell that he's mad at the lady for asking questions. I just thought it was rather insanely comical.
Yeah, it was a mess. I mean, his theatrics let me know that he's guilty. I mean, the thing about it, R. Kelly, I'm not really sure about these girls that he's being accused of. I don't know anything about these girls, but I know R. Kelly is a child predator because he was married to Aaliyah when she was 15 years old and had to lie about it on the marriage license. And I saw the paperwork. I saw the documents.
Right.
Everybody saw that video of him and the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was him. It was his house. Because I remember when that video came out, people were sharing like pictures of it, like screenshots of the room that he was in. It was one room, like his it might have been his living room or something like that. It was a big common area. that room was showed on this show called BET How I'm Living. It was like MTV Cribs, but for BET. They showed that episode of How I'm Living over and over again when that tape came out. I remember that. I was like, okay, they don't normally show it this much, but the reason why they showed it so much is to show you that room. It was the same room. It was R. Kelly's house. It was the same. Everything was the same. So that was him. He was married to Aaliyah. So that's that. Now, as far as these new girls, I don't know what's going on. But him personally, yeah, he's definitely a predator. Ain't no question.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think, again, as usual, you make some good points, right? Because, I mean, we know he's a sexual predator. That doesn't mean, as we've seen, especially people on the left or people in general these days who are just looking to become famous, that the points he made in his video, the interview, couldn't be valid, where people might jump on the bandwagon and try to sue the celebrity and get famous and get book sales. And, you know, that is true. But when you are guilty of things and then you say in the interview that everybody's just making up lies about you, everybody's lying, when we know that's not true, you destroy your own credibility and you look like a fool. That's my take, and I think it's yours too, it sounds like.
Absolutely, 1,000%.
Yeah. AOC, she's out of her mind. I mean, I know I'm going a little bit. Just let me know if you need to get to another call, all right? But I'm trying to get through the last couple topics here, and then
give me one more. Let me get to the next call.
All right, no problem. So AOC, she's out of her mind, man. She's delusional. She talks and she talks like she's like a high school chick who doesn't know anything about anything, but she keeps yapping. And I don't know why, but all these like old school Democrats are so scared. These are the people that were attacking Trump, attacking conservatives, attacking the right, you know, before the socialists, communists, and Muslims took over, of course. So they weren't exactly lacking any gumption, any boldness, right? They might not have had energy when they were having their political candidates go against Trump, but so it's just a little bit crazy to see them back down to some little dumb chick, in my opinion. I'm just saying what I see. So that's all from me for now. ABL, usual. Thanks, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. You too.
All right. Thank you to my man, Steve Baldessari from American Patriots for God and Country. I appreciate you for the call. And as far as AOC is concerned, people look at her as that they see her as social media power. I said this before in the video, that social media power, the currency of social media is very important. It's extremely important. And she has a lot of it. That's why people are kind of scared of her. You know, the average, you know, normie the average normie House rep from East, Middle Valley, Arkansas has no chance of being able to have the impact that she does, especially by being in New York. I mean, by being in New York, number one. Number two, having such a big following behind her on social media. And number three, being somebody that's popular. She's not necessarily attractive, but she's attractive for Congress. You understand? Because when you think of Congress, you're not thinking about anybody really attractive. You're thinking about just a bunch of old guys in there just working. You're not thinking about a young 28-year-old girl. So compared to just the average guy in there, you know, with some suspenders on and just, you know, the working Joe, the guy's going to get to work, she's totally different. It's a contrast. If you put her in Puerto Rico, she's like an average everyday girl, you know, working in Starbucks or something like that, eating taquitos. You know, she wouldn't really be that special. But in that context, she is. And she's popular. That's why she has so much power. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of the situation. I want to show you guys this video right quick. I won't show too much of it because I ain't trying to trigger nobody. This is what I was just talking about with the this performance artist or whatever you want to call them. Now, matter of fact, I can just leave it right here. Crazy leftist, Trump derangement syndrome at Trump star. This is from Slightly Offensive. Now you see what's going on. You got these guys on their hands and their knees. This is the let's see if I get my pointer. This is Donald Trump's star on the Walk of Fame. And you got all these grown big men on their hands and knees with MAGA hats on, white polo shirts and khakis to kind of like impersonate Donald Trump. And they're like, I ain't gonna have the sound on, but you can pretty much imagine what's going on. This, like, do you see this? And then you got these walkers up here, these people. So this is like an exercise in the resistance. These guys, I mean, you could pretty much, like, okay, I'll paint a picture for you. You in Los Angeles, right? Do you think these guys here, like, what do they do for a living? You tell me. Just wild guess. Don't put it in the chat if it's too vulgar, but you pretty much know where I'm going. You're picking up where I'm dropping down. You kind of understand. Like, this kind of stuff, if people that are on the outside looking in see this, they're going to say, okay, all right, you guys, you've lost me here. I don't want to be involved with anybody that does something like this. This is just nasty. It's over the top. It's crossing the line. I am good. Sayonara. That's how they're going to think. But I digress. Let's go ahead and get that off the screen right now. So let me get to my next call here. 702, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Mark.
What's going on, Mark?
Hey, nothing much. With those guys being on callers and acting like dogs, I don't see how that's much different from the way the schools and the media treats these people.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good point.
I mean, isn't that what they wanted the Covington kids to act like?
Yeah, they did. They wanted them just to bow down and kiss people's shoes and just, you know, they you have a great point there. What's happening in that video is what they want people to actually do. You know, the average white male, that's what they want, to be submissive and to basically like lose their humanity, not even be human beings anymore.
Right. And I just think of, like, you know, all the brainwashing they show. How is it empowering? How is it going to raise the next generation? The only thing I think about when I see something like that is that may happen in the Western world, but I don't think that China or Russia treat their men that way.
No, they don't.
It's the same. Go ahead. Sorry.
So they don't. Not at all. Matter of fact, I saw this meme of, I think it was the defense secretaries from different countries, and you know, you had China, rough looking man, Russia, rough looking man. Then you go to like parts of Europe, you got, you know, just grandma looking people, women, librarian looking women. It's like, all right, defense secretary, I want somebody that's like a grizzled war veteran that could kill you with a shoestring and a paper clip. I don't want, you know, Miss Daisy that should be in the kitchen making cookies. I don't want that.
Right, 100%. And when I see the guys on callers acting like that, you know, it's not much different than what they show black men. They always got to show you R. Kelly, or they got to show you Jussie Smollett, or they got to show you some guy in a tuxedo with a gown on that's getting porked by some soy boy that probably is on a collar and a leash in his spare time. You know, the things that they stick in our eyeballs from the media is truly disgusting. And that's why I want to see people in Blexit. I want to see Blexit bigger than like the NFL or the NBA. Really, the NBA and the NFL have gone along with this corporate media treatment of men. For that reason, I don't like them. They suck. LeBron, you suck. Stephon, you suck. I don't like any of you. And, you know, the Blexit people, I would like to see the public embrace Blexit more than the entertainment class. I have nothing but contempt for the entertainment class now and every shyster Weinstein-type director behind them.
Yeah, you got a good point about that for sure. And I think that we have a ability to do that because we're reaching into popular culture. You know, when I went to the Blexit rally over the weekend, man, people were there. It was really energetic. People were excited to meet us. People were excited for the speakers. It was a lot of good energy there. So I think that we can definitely make an impact in the cultural space because, you know, what's happening right now is not like, you know, this is not C-SPAN. This is not any kind of boring, bland, vanilla thing. This is a really exciting, upbeat thing that people can get behind. And at the same time, it's not just going to be this, you know, just brainless stuff. You're really going to get some true information and real deal knowledge out of the whole situation.
Right. And I just hope it gets bigger because it's like, why, like, I'm not in that culture, so that's just going to be the way it is. But let's say that if I was, would I want to go to Jay-Z and Beyonce telling me to eat broccoli and Brussels sprouts and be a vegan for free concert tickets? Or would I want to go to Blexit, you know what I mean? People who are out to lift others up with a positive message instead of this gangster, drug dealing, twerking, glamorizing, narcissistic, disgusting, selfish behavior that they show off all the time. And what have they done? Honestly, I got to ask you, what have they done if you're being led around by the nose by people like Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez or Iwan Omar, Rashida Tlaib. When did these people ever pay their dues? What have they ever done to deserve to lead Americans anywhere? Are they even Americans at all? I don't feel that they are. They certainly don't act like it.
Well, they definitely don't act like it, because that's not the American spirit to be so anti-American. So, it doesn't matter if you're a citizen or not. You still got to have the American spirit and do what's best for the country to really be considered American, in my humble opinion.
Right. Well, I just look back. I just look at basically on its face. Who's served more? Who's worked harder? Who's invested more? Lynn, Patton, or Rashida Tlaib?
I think that'd be Lynn Patton for sure, not Rashida Tlaib, whatever her name is. I mean, come on, that name has to get fixed. I mean, it's misspelled. Fix the name. That's all that I really know about her, is a misspelled name. I've never seen her do anything. No accomplishments, no achievements, no nothing. You coming out here and just saying disrespectful and hurtful things to just, I don't know, get more popular, get more retweets and clicks and stuff like that on Twitter. That's not really what I want. I want people that's going to be of action and not just of useless content building, algorithm building things.
There you go. And I look at them as the same way as I look at Alexandria Ocasio, her CEO, and who was also worked for Bernie, and also, what's his name, de Blasio. It's like, you guys are embezzling money, you're stealing money, you're ripping off money, and it's like, and then you have the nerve to say that Blexit, I just feel, is doing something more positive, whereas all these people are stealing and ripping off money, and they're subtracting, you know what I mean? And, the thing is that back in the day, I would have been for a Green New Deal, but what are they offering? It's not even clear. Like, there was a proposal, kind of like the TVA. You could even pull it up and click images. It's called NAWAPA, NAWAPA, and they wanted to build like 30 Hoover dams from Alaska, diverting fresh water through the Big Empty, which is like New Mexico, Nevada, California, the desert areas that don't bloom. And so they were going to divert like a river all the way to the northern tip of Mexico, and they were going to have like 30 Hoover dams and divert all this fresh water. But of course, they didn't want it. They would bring up things like fishing migration patterns, like the salmon or something, as an excuse not to do it. But they said that would not only construct so many engineering jobs, so many labor jobs, it would be a massive, massive project. Just the brain power alone being fixated in the western part of the United States. They said it would be so great for the economy, all that labor, all that work, and they said that the real greenery would come from diverting that fresh water, and they said it would bloom the desert, and it would even change weather patterns. So if they were worried about global warming or whatever the heck they're talking about, climate change or whatnot, causing more greenery and doing real projects would perhaps affect that. But they don't want infrastructure. They just want to steal money, just like they're stealing money right now. De Blasio can account for over $1 billion. And then Ocasio's manager is some guy named Chakrabarti, which is a cool name. I like chakras. But Chakrabarti is his name, Saikat Chakrabarti, and he diverted all this campaign money into his own private businesses. How is this helping the people of Brooklyn when some turban winder is stealing all your money?
Yeah, I did see that. That was something. And then, it comes on the heels of AOC giving this little speech talking about dark money and campaign finance and how it has to be overhauled because you don't know what's going on with the money. Meanwhile, you're doing the exact same thing with your money. Like $885,000 worth of money, taking it from PACs and diverting it into LLCs, his own companies. It's like, okay, what is that money being used for? You tell me. It's dark money if I don't know, but you just got done talking about how bad dark money is. So which one is it?
you know, and as far as dark money goes, it goes into a black hole with them. Why would I ever give them money for a Green New Deal when there's no plans laid? Like, NWAPA makes sense to me. NWAPA is a LaRouche thing. That makes sense to me. There's a girl named Keisha Rogers that you might want to talk to. And, you know, let's face it, LaRouche was on the left, but it was an infrastructure project. It's something you can point to. With Ocasio-Cortez, what can you point to? Chakrabarty stealing money. With de Blasio, what can you point to? And last thing, and I'll let you go, but Terrence. They were saying Terrence Williams might have been a victim of Kamala side.
Well, I don't know. Like, that's kind of difficult to say because it was an accident. The Uber driver got messed up too, so I don't know what's going on.
Right. It's a heck of an accusation to make. It's way out on the fringes, but they were saying because of his criticizing of Kamala Harris like a Hillary Clinton, maybe that car accident, you know, you never know what really happened with that. But, you know, he couldn't be a nicer guy. He's the funniest, most charming guy in the world, super funny to be around. And to have something like that happen to him is very depressing. But seeing all those future Marines and those people doing hospital visits, man, that's something that, you know, I wish I would have been a part of something like that as a kid. It never even occurred to me, that kind of volunteer work, that boosting of morale, that kind of like caregiving for the sick and infirmed or the people who have been injured. I mean, that's just like to see kids like that. Those kids are the real heroes. It's not like Brie Larson mouthing off to white men. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. The entertainment class, I just do not see them as I don't know. I like the people online so much more because I feel like when I was growing up, I felt like we were part of the entertainment people. They felt like they were American people. It was like we were all together. And now it's like the internet people are like that, but the entertainment class has become like this globalist corporate class where it's like, you know, get down on all fours and urinate on a star and we're going to treat you like dogs and we're even going to call you that. Right. It's like, yeah. All right, sir. Thank you for your time very much. Have a great show.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to my man Mark for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to the super chatters. I got some more in here. I'm going to read off right quick. Shout out to my man Dimitri who says, ABL, keep up the good work. NYC conservative here. I joined the hashtag walkaway movement and posted something. Received 2,600 likes. That's tolerance. Thanks, ABL. Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. And I'm glad you are contributing something to the walkaway movement, to the YouTube world in general, to let people know that they're not by themselves. They're not alone walking away from the Democratic Party, walking away from whatever they need to walk away from. Dimitri also says, hey, ABL, you're looking sharp. Confidence is good. Thank you for that. And he also says, I am very disheartened by the investigations into a loving and caring president. Donald Trump seems like such a good person. This is so terrible. Well, they don't really care about that. Like we were saying earlier, Donald Trump could turn water into wine. He could walk on water. He could rejuvenate people from the dead, reanimate them, not rejuvenate. He could cure cancer. He could do anything and everything in the world, but they have their mindset on just trying to obstruct no matter what. It doesn't even really matter. But I thank you for the call. I mean, not the call, the donation. Definitely appreciate you. Let me get to my next call here. All righty, Nippin, what's going on, boss?
Not much. How you doing? Let me just mute the live stream.
All righty, you good?
Yeah, finally back from India.
All righty, man. So how was your trip?
It was good. Had a wedding and then spent some time in the desert region of Rajasthan.
Okay. Sounds interesting, for sure.
And, yeah, Hollywood is back at it again.
Oh, of course.
Disney, and Disney in particular. You know, Disney are making remakes of their animated movies, like Cinderella has one, Beauty and the Beast has one, The Lion King is now releasing one, Aladdin with Will Smith, which I'm cool with. But what I'm not cool, look, have you heard of a Disney movie? It released back in the 80s. The Little Mermaid. Have you heard of it?
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Now they want to make Ariel, the main character, they want to make her black. I'm like, okay, call me a racist, but I'm not going to watch the movie unless they cast a white actor.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, I don't like when they try to change characters from what they were originally, because it just comes off as pandering. There's no need to do that. Just, have the character be what they were from the beginning.
Yeah,
I don't like, and matter of fact, how about create new characters that are whatever race you want them to be, rather than just trying to take old characters
they
and
did
make
that
them.
with Cinderella. They had a black god in Cinderella's castle. If they could do that with The Little Mermaid, that would be okay. But it's not about racism. It's about how the character was created. Now, they're trying to do the same thing with James Bond by casting Idris Elba. I'm sorry, but James Bond is a white male.
Yeah,
Same way Ariel is a white female with red hair.
It's the same thing. Like, you have.
And if you want proof, there it is. Yeah, she's as white as snow.
Yeah, I've seen her. I know. But
Yeah,
okay,
so-
here's an example, because you have other movies and other characters like Blade from the Marvel series. Blade is a black character, and in the movies it was always Wesley Snipes, a really dark skinned guy, darker than me. So if all of a sudden they had another Blade movie to come out and you have Ryan Reynolds in there, I'm like, no. Blade is not a white guy. Why would you cast him as that?
Yeah, same way Ariel's not a black woman.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm not going to watch that movie unless they cast a white actress, sorry. So, yeah, call me a racist, but that's how the films should work.
I'm with you.
And then apparently Trump and Kim met again.
Yeah, they did. They met in Hanoi, Vietnam.
Yeah, that's good.
So did you see anything from that? Have you heard anything?
No, I was in India all this time. I didn't have time to catch up with the news.
Okay, I got you.
And half the time I had to live off 3G internet.
Oh man.
So the internet wasn't very fast either.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. I can imagine.
So and then there's Blexit.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people leaving the Democratic Party.
Absolutely. Yes.
And good for them.
Yeah, it was a good event. It was an event that was held in Richmond, Virginia over the weekend, and I was there. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah. So, did you hear about the tension going on between India and Pakistan?
Well, that's been going on for a long time, hasn't it? That's not anything new, is it?
Yeah, it became quite a sensation this year, though.
Now,
Flights being redirected to avoid Pakistan. For example, my flight on the way back to London was only meant to be 8 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did I end up taking off an hour and a half late, but the flight was 11 hours and 5,000 miles instead of 4,000 miles and 8 hours.
Well, did you go like to the south and go like?
Yeah, we went through the south. We went past Mumbai, and then we went back, and then we went up.
Okay, so you probably went through like Saudi Arabia or something like that, or Iran.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we went past Dubai as well.
Right. Now, did you see anything from the plane, like the stuff in Dubai?
Yeah, kind of. It was so small though that you couldn't see it.
Right.
You could barely see it.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe Trump should get involved with India and Pakistan and see if he can turn that to gold.
Oh man, I don't know how you're gonna do that, man. It's a lot of history behind that. I mean, it's
yeah, same with the U.S. and North Korea.
Yeah, well, yeah, but see, North Korea is a different ball of wax because they're trying to threaten us. But India and Pakistan is more about a problem between the two countries, not necessarily other countries, right? Well, I think China might be involved too, maybe.
Yeah. China are siding with Pakistan, while China, Afghanistan, and Turkey and quite a lot of countries from the Islamic world are siding with Pakistan.
Of course.
But India, surprisingly, have Bangladesh, a Muslim majority country, mind you, on their side. They have you guys, they have us, and they have Russia.
Well, yeah, Bangladesh, like, wasn't that called East Pakistan?
East Pakistan, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bangladesh are actually bitter, right? They actually hate Pakistan.
Yeah, I
so
know.
Yes, despite being a Muslim country as well, they actually hate each other's guts.
Right. That's probably why they broke apart in the first place, because like, wasn't it like they like Pakistan, the country now, was trying to like dominate them over there, and it was far away, and they didn't really have too much of their own sovereignty. Like, wasn't that kind of the problem?
I don't know much about Indian history.
Okay.
Which is bad because my parents are from there.
Right.
But yeah, we have Bangladesh on us. They have Bangladesh on their side.
Right.
So yeah, to be honest, it has to come sooner rather than later, the peace, because if things get out of hand, India will nuke Pakistan, and then there will be no Pakistan left.
Right.
And they'll become one country again.
Well, that's kind of how things operate, man. So I think pretty much got everything covered, man. Is there anything else you want to add before we get to the next call?
Yeah, there's the probe Kelly and this Lynn Patton being called a token.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, no, I didn't actually. I was called. I was called so many things once I opened up of being a conservative. I was called an idiot. I was called a white man in an Asian person's skin.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it works. But, you know, it's funny how people that talk like that, a lot of these the so-called liberals, they say that the conservatives are the racist ones, but we don't talk like that. We don't call people tokens and all these racial terms and hateful terms. They say that. So it's pretty interesting to see how they actually behave while at the same time saying that we behave that way.
Yeah, like a few years ago, have you heard of a soccer star called Ashley Cole?
No.
Basically, his teammate, John Terry, was accused of racism. Which wasn't actually racism. And Ashley Cole, a black person, sided with John Terry, and Rio Ferdinand, a black man, said, "Our friendship is over, you coconut."
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I'm sorry, who's the racist now?
It's pretty.
Ferdinand or Terry? I mean, it was
pretty,
a huge misunderstanding.
Yeah, it's pretty clear who the racist is, man. But I gotta get to a few more calls.
Anyway, it was nice speaking to you again, ABL.
Oh, always, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
And I'll most likely see you on Sunday.
Alrighty.
Peace.
Peace. All right. Shout out to my man Nippin for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And let's get back to some more calls. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box below. and a ticker below when it comes across. There it is right there, 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description box below if you want to get on in the lower left-hand corner, just like my man Nippin was right now. But let me get to my next call. All righty, I think for some of you on the line, I'm speaking to
Joshua.
All righty, boss, what's going on?
What's going on with you too, Anti-Ryan Logan?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
I want to talk about something which is Colorado and the other blue states trying to ban the Electoral College.
Yeah, like I heard about that. Now, they're not really going to get anywhere because how are you going to try to be a state and ban the Electoral College? That's like trying to be a state and changing the Constitution. It's not really a realistic thing that's going to actually happen.
Right. Yeah, but because the reason why they want to try to ban the Electoral College is because they want the United States to become a direct democracy because they want to choose by the popular vote. Because Hillary Clinton won the popular vote in 2016. Well, because of California and the other blue states, of course. But Trump won the Electoral College in 2016, 306 to be exact, which is the most important thing of the presidential election, not the popular vote. So that's why they want to ban the Electoral College.
Yeah, but see, they're going to regret it when they actually need the Electoral College to work in their favor. But either way it goes, they're not really going to get anywhere. It's just an exercise in futility. It's something that won't really get anywhere. They're just being part of the resistance, that's all, because they can just put that as a stripe, as kind of a feather in the cap to say, well, when I ran or when I was running, I proposed legislation to change the Electoral College, to preserve the democracy, to let the voice of people be heard, to not have the will of the currency be placed in a few people's hands. That's what they're going to say. That's going to be part of their whole campaign thing. It'd just be part of their resume.
Right.
Because they know it can't really go anywhere because you're going to need a whole lot of people to come in and try to and be on their side to have that get done. And it's never going to happen. So it's all about just PR, resume building and stuff like that. That's pretty much all that there is to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they just butt her. That's all that matters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Now, another thing I want to talk about is I haven't heard of a YouTuber or watched a YouTuber known as the Red Elephants.
Red Elephants, yes.
Yeah. He's a great YouTuber. He just brings on information every time, new videos. But one pet peeve I have is that, not to be racist, but he mainly like he does like white people this, white people that. And the black vote and the Hispanic vote will never change ever because they always vote Democrat, which I disagree with because right now what we're doing with the Blexit thing, that we're trying to change the black vote to be more not vote like Republican but more like independent voters.
Well, the thing about it is this. I mean, he can't say that it would never change because it changed before. So if it changed before, it could change again. Because at one point we had much more voter parity. We had about half and half voting Democrat, Republican, and even before that, we had more Republican voting than Democrat voting in the Democrat community. I mean, in the black community. Yeah. So it can't you can't just say, oh, it'll never change because it already changed. It's already a precedent for this. It's happened before, and like probably about 40 years ago it happened. So it can happen again. A person like that doesn't really understand history. He
does understand history, but he's a bit pessimistic.
Yeah, I mean, he does not understand history because if he did, then he would know that it changed before. And the best way to see if a thing may change is to look at the history of it. If it's changed before, it can change again. That's just kind of how things work. If you have cycles sometimes. Things go up, things go down. It's just like the stock market. You may have a thing go up and it goes down. That's just the nature of it. That's like somebody saying that the stock market will never go up or go down. It's like, come on. Looking at history, you could tell that it will go up and it will go down. That's just how things work.
Absolutely. You're 100% right. 100% right. And also, a couple of things last thing before I go, And that are you receiving mails like donation letters from like GOP or from Donald Trump when you get the hats, the Make America Great Again hats?
Am I receiving mail from the GOP?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes, because I bought some of the hats.
Yeah, because I got lots of them.
Huh?
Lots of them. I got lots of them.
Lot of what? Mail?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, because that's what is going to happen. Like when you buy hats, they're going to send you mail because now, you know, you've already donated to the campaign, so you're going to donate some more maybe through the mail. Yeah, that's not really abnormal.
Yeah, and also, have you ever seen Alita Battle Angel?
I've not seen that movie. I've heard about it a little bit, but I've not seen it. I'm not really interested in going to watch it because I never really heard a lot about it in any other way.
Because they're trying to do the Alita Battle Angel challenge because they're trying to make Captain Marvel the SJW movie to bomb at opening this Friday because of Brianna Lawson always attacking white people all the time. White people this, white people that. 40-year-old old white people.
Well, hey man, we're gonna see what happens if people, you know, if they want to go, but whatever they want to do, that's their business. I'm not really interested in it one way or the other, really, because I did not like the previous Avengers movie, and I might not like this one. If it's good, I really don't care about the other stuff that goes around it. I'll watch it if it's good. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate you too. And also got the hat back.
All right, I'm glad you got them back, man. Good to hear it.
Right.
Take care. Take care. Okay. All right. Shout out to my man Joshua for the call. Now, I'm trying to get the young lady on the chat. Somebody was saying that they couldn't get in. I forget your name, so I apologize. But I think your area code is 402. I don't see a 402 on the line anywhere, so I'm not really sure what your area code is. You guys let me know. Okay. Do I see 402? I do not see 402. I see 602, but I don't see 402. So let's go ahead and I think that was Faith Jones. Was that you? Yeah, Faith Jones. I don't see your area code. Yeah, I don't see 402 at all. It's not on the caller ID anywhere, and it's not in the current call. So try to call in right now and then see how that works out for you. Okay, try to call in now, and we'll see if we can get you on. 402, waiting on you. 602, okay. That might have been a typo. All right, so call back 602. Because I did see 602, but I can't call you. You got to call me. I can't call out. So go ahead and call back. And thank you all for being here. We got 224 live in the building. I really, really appreciate you guys. 602. Hey, we got it. You know, time's a wasting. Let's see. Do we got any super chats? We got super chats caught up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you're a new viewer, subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up on the video. But you know, time's ticking. We got to keep it moving here. Hey, it's all good. Thank you all for joining. I really, really appreciate you guys. Let me see. Michelle Obama will be the only threat. Absolutely. There we go. 602. All right, let's go ahead and get it. 602, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Faith Jones.
All righty, Faith. We got you through. What's going on?
Nothing much. I love your channel. I'm new to the channel, and I have to say you're doing an awesome job. I've learned so much just by watching. I'm a brand new Republican, by the way, thanks to you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to let you know and shout you out. You really opened my eyes to a lot of things because I have about 4 generations of Democrats in my family. And the last caller, he was, concerned because he was saying that he didn't know what it was going to take to wake black people up. Well, it's going to take black people like you, ABL, and a whole lot of other people like yourself to just kind of get the word out. I was watching your video the other day where you were at the Blexit rally, and I just wanted to thank you for posting that because that also opened my eyes. I didn't even know what the Blexit movement was, actually, until I started watching your channel. And I do agree, Black people do need to make the migration from being Democrat. Because Democrat, in my book, I looked over the years, I looked at what Barack Obama did and what Bill Clinton did, and everything that the Democrats had ever done as far as Black people were concerned was just basically to ignore our issues for years and years, even though we were loyal to them for many, many years. We never got anything back in return. But I look and I see other groups being acknowledged, like LGBTQ. They're a brand new group. They just uprooted out of nowhere. Nothing against gays or anything like that. But Black people have been in the struggle a lot longer than the gays have. And yet they have a way more political power than we have in such a short time. And to me, that's just unforgivable. I will never be able to forgive the Democrats for that. So, yeah, I'm definitely down with Blexit, and I think that it is about time that Black people make their exit from that party.
I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. Everything you said is right on point. We just got to open our eyes up to see what's really going on. A lot of us just kind of out here voting blindly, don't even know what's happening. So when people are watching these videos, the Blexit and stuff like that, they're able to understand, oh, okay, now I see what's really going on. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Exactly. And then also, you know, it's just a lot of misinformation out there. Like on my Facebook page, I bought a MAGA hat last week. And I posted it up on my Facebook page because, you know, I wanted to show my support for Donald Trump. And just me posting a picture of the hat, I have a lot of Black people on my Facebook, a lot of family members. People were cursing me out. People that I didn't even know cursed were cursing me out because
Wow.
I'm a Trump supporter. And it's just ridiculous to me that something like a symbol or a piece of headwear could just ignite that much violence and vitriol in a person. I mean, I experienced so much hate and ignorance from my own people than I ever have from any white person that I've ever dealt with. And I've experienced some racism, but not on the level of the bigotry that I experienced from my own people, just because we have a difference of political opinion. So it's an issue. It's a problem.
Oh,
Most definitely.
It's definitely a big time problem, man. I see it a lot. I see it all the time. But then it's to the point now where people are more comfortable with coming out and being who they are, being conservative and being Black at the same time, non-white or whatever the case may be. So I'm starting to see less of it. It's less of a reaction. When I was first trying to just say what I am and who I am, it was more of a crazy reaction, but it's starting to lessen. And I think that the younger kids now, they're starting to become much more open to be political at a younger age, and they don't really have the stigma that's on the people that are older than them. You know, I'm 34. People my age, to be Republican or conservative was like unheard of if you're a Black person. But for the kids that are younger than me, high school, college, it's not really that big of a deal. It is, but it's not. It's not as big as it was for us.
Exactly. And I think that has a lot to do with the baby boomer generation, because I know that my parents are baby boomers. I'm in my 40s now. And I see the difference. You know, my mindset is a lot different than my parents, even though they raised me to be Democratic. I'm a little bit more open-minded. I'm not Republican or anything. I kind of put myself in the middle. I'm independent. You know, I'm iffy. I haven't crossed all the way over to conservative yet. But I do support Trump. I like everything that he stands for. I mean, even in the midst of him being attacked like he is by these Democrats, and all this is a witch hunt. It's an attack. He has been maintaining and holding his cool. He's the only one over there that I see actually working. Every day I turn the television on, Trump is signing a new bill. He just signed, I think, a bill for the veterans who were, I guess, suicidal veterans. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really familiar about it.
No,
but
you're
I saw
right.
It's to prevent
veteran suicide. You're right.
Right. And so every day, you know, I'm seeing something that Trump is doing. Trump is traveling. He's making trade deals. You know, he's working. He's doing what the taxpayers are paying him for. But the Democrats, they act like their new job is just to impeach Trump. When are they going to actually do some work? Every time I look at my paycheck, I see federal taxes coming out. And I can't help but think that my tax money is being wasted on those idiots in Congress.
Right, exactly. And then it's like, okay, what are they really doing with it? Like, if you're going to sit there and waste it, how about let me keep it? You know, if you're going to throw it away, just throw it away in my pocket. How about that? That's better for me.
Exactly. I mean, we don't need a Green New Deal. I mean, you could just give me my money back.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to call in. This is my first time calling in. I just wanted to let you know that I support the channel. I love what you're doing, and just keep it up.
Well, I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Same to you now. All right. Shout out to the caller. I'm glad we got people on the opposite side, people that are leaving the left. I like that. You know, people, you know, to come up to me every now and again and say that, it means a lot to me that I'm able to help people just see the light, see the right way, 1,000%. So shout out to Faith. I definitely appreciate the call. And we got a few more calls on the line. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box, the ticker, and all that good stuff. Let me get to my next call. 571, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Well, good evening, Anthony. This is Richard from Honduras.
All righty. What's going on?
I owe you an apology.
Wow, what happened?
Well, last week I called, and when I answered the phone, I used a greeting that apparently upset somebody.
Oh,
that,
they were upset?
The friend of yours from Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus like that. It wasn't intended to be that way, but I apologize for doing that. I didn't realize you were going to get in trouble.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, well, that's the only reason I called, was just to apologize. I felt bad a little bit later on in the show when they called. I say they because I don't want to misgender anybody. Okay. But you know, I'm sorry that I put you in that position. I know you laughed, but still.
Right.
You know,
no, it's all good. Don't even worry about it.
I shouldn't have done it. But anyway, I love your show. Been watching faithfully. I even sat up and waited for you on Saturday. Then I realized I forgot that you were in Richmond. So
yeah.
Anyway, I found other things to entertain me. Not as much, but I found other entertainment. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry for getting you in trouble.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you be safe and keep on trucking, my
all
friend.
Right. Will do.
Bye-bye. Bye.
All right. Shout out to my man Richard from Honduras, from Honduras up there in Northern Virginia. Really, really appreciate the call. And you guys are great always. You know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. We got 237 live in the chat. Yeah, and the chat's fantastic. Absolutely. The chat's always good. That's one of the best parts of the show. You know, the chat can get along with each other. Everything's all gravy. Now, you guys are having a full-on conversation. What's going on, Snoop, to you? Everything's good? Hold on. Let me see something right here. Azure Phoenix says, I have a friend who was a refugee from Honduras. She flew to El Paso. She sat in detainment for 2 days with her baby, and now she settled in with her family because she had her papers in order. There it is. That's how it goes. That's how it's supposed to be. You know, if everything's right, you get your papers in order, then you're good to go. You know, that's just how it's supposed to be. You know, people coming over the border claiming asylum that, you know, don't really need it. And the thing about it is, people can claim asylum in their country of origin. They don't have to go to the border. People are trying to like bogart their way into the country. That's the problem. You know, that's the issue. If people did not bogart their way into the country, then it wouldn't really be this big problem with people trying to just unlawfully access. That's the problem. You know, that's really all that it is to it. Just come in the country, right, and then you won't have all these problems that people are facing right now. That's the long and short of it, honestly. But people don't see it that way for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Well, I know why. I don't want to be naive with it now. You know, I just want to have it make sense logically. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next call. 917 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Tracy.
All right, Tracy. What's going on?
Hey, I can't believe, wow, this is so cool. I watch you all the time. I think you're great.
Well, thank you for calling. I'm glad you're able to get through. Glad you enjoyed the show.
Cool. Are you in Tennessee?
Yes, I am. Chattanooga.
I love your accent. I know you're from Virginia, but it's all Southern. I love it. Hey, I wanted to say, you know, I think I was wondering what you think about, like, I think it was Will Johnson. He was talking about how Fox's ratings were higher than anybody else's. And I was thinking, man, you know what? Like, Fox has such a great platform right now. They should totally get on board with the Blexit thing and expose it more and, you know, like, get some of the Blexit, you know, speakers on their show, give them a platform, give them more exposure. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, that's a good idea. Some of us are already on there. You have Candace who's on there all the time. Brandon is on there a lot. Charlie's on there a lot. Although Charlie's not necessarily part of Blexit, he still is with us. He still supports us. Yeah. And, you know, some of us do go on Fox occasionally, but I'm not really sure it's to talk about Blexit specifically. It's to speak about other things. We could bring up Blexit as kind of a side note, but it would be good if we had like a segment on there, or if even better, they send a crew out there to film it. We saw some media that were there. We saw some local media. They were out front. Breitbart was there. I think a Daily Caller, they were there. So a few people were there to cover the whole situation, but it would have been great for Fox to be there as well to cover the whole thing.
Fox wasn't there? Fox wasn't there?
I didn't see Fox. If they were there, I didn't see them. But I did see Breitbart, Daily Caller, and it was one more, local media.
I was thinking more like, not necessarily just covering it, but like getting some of you guys like a platform, like maybe a show, like just a show dedicated to young Black conservatives. I think that'd be badass. I mean, you know, you'd reach such a wider audience, and it would like bring more people into the fold, give more people encouragement and courage to, you know, speak out and break out and, you know, be independent. I really think they need to get on board with that, and like, because it's so important. It is so important that, I mean, my argument has always been, like I always say, like, Martin Luther King did not die just so that Black Americans could only vote Democrat. Like, I mean, he fought and died so that Black Americans could fully participate in the self-governing process and, you know, vote how their conscience tells them, not to be, you know, told how to vote and brainwashed and dictated to and, you know, shamed, basically, into voting one way. It's really totally antithetic to what he fought for.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one for sure. Yeah. So, you know, if we were to get a bigger platform, that'd be fantastic. But I think that a lot of us as, you know, people that are on social media, we're influencers, are pretty popular. We're able to bring a pretty decent crowd. I mean, we didn't have any media coverage. Local media did not cover until after the event was already going on, like almost at the end of it. They didn't do any kind of promotion or nothing. It was just us, and it was kind of a last minute thing. So if we really put a lot of thought process behind it as far as planning out way in advance, doing a lot of promotion, we could definitely get the attention that the mainstream media will be able to give us. Fox News would be great to help, but I think we're able to do it on our own as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, which event are you talking about? The most recent one, was that in California when you were?
The most recent one was in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, it was? Okay. That's where you were when you saw Candace?
Yeah, I was there, yes. And, that's when I saw Candace.
Cool. And one more issue I want to bring up, something that bothers me, like, big time, is, like, I mean, see, like if Fox or some big, network, whatever, would to like give more exposure to the Blexit movement, there could be more of a national discussion about how illegal immigration affects Black America, Latino America, any kind of struggling community from which illegals take jobs. I mean, that absolutely drives me crazy. I just get so infuriated that, that more people can't see that. I mean, I've seen people talk about it. I've seen people get really upset about it. But, those people, the everyday people, they don't get exposure. They don't, get on CNN or whatever and really talk about how this issue affects American citizens, who need those jobs, those resources that we're giving to illegals are resources that could be going toward, impoverished communities and stuff like the opportunity zones, things of that nature that Trump is doing to actually try to help, struggling communities, not just give them a handout, but to invest in the communities and create opportunities and jobs. All of those resources, we give how much freaking billions of dollars we give to illegals or we spend on illegals? It's crazy. That should go toward American citizens.
Oh, absolutely.
It drives me nuts.
Ain't no question.
Yeah, it's like a huge issue with me. I get on the phone with my mom and we gripe about it for hours and hours and hours. It's just me and her. It's like me and her. Like no one's hearing our brilliant ideas. Anyway, cool. I'm so glad I got to talk to you. It's really cool.
Wow, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, cool. All right, catch you later.
All right now. Bye. All right, shout out to the caller. Glad you was able to get on. I'm glad all you guys were able to come on and participate with the show. I like the interactivity of the whole situation. That's why, Blexit, the rally was great. It was really fantastic. Met a lot of you guys there. I'm not really sure who. So many names I got, so many faces I saw. I got a lot of business cards. I got a handful of cards. I got cards everywhere. So met a lot of great people, and it was just really a good thing. All positive energy, nothing negative at all. Let me get to my next call though. 214 in the line. I'm speaking to.
Hey man, what's going on? This is Tariq.
All right, Tariq, what's happening?
Chilling, man. I'm just gonna pick up from what that last caller said and just being strategic. Pretty much, when it comes to illegal immigrants, if you notice, if we use the job argument for Black people, for Black liberals especially, it doesn't seem to have an effect as far as, legal immigration is hurting lower income Black folks especially because, why hire an African American when you can hire an illegal immigrant and you don't got to pay them any type of benefits or anything? So, but if you run that argument by the Black liberal, they're going to say, well, Black folks, why are you always doing them cheap jobs? Why are you being lazy? So that doesn't work. When it comes to the Black liberal and legal immigration, they just like it because it pisses white people off. They think there's this coalition that when, the Mexicans or the South Americans come to this country, we're going to be some type of unified front against white supremacy, and which is such a ridiculous notion. But the thing is, when you deal with the Black liberal when it comes to legal immigration, we have to actually speak about what are they doing that's impacting us. Like, for example, like if a quote-unquote like Hispanic cops kills a Black person, where is the illegal immigrant community coming out in support of Black people? Not just marching. I'm talking about with economic means. On your Black issues, where is the illegal immigrant population? Why are they silent on these issues? The whole Trayvon Martin thing was questionable, but when it came to George Zimmerman killing Trayvon Martin, where was the illegal immigrant community coming out against that, coming in support? They were silent. This is how you're going to have to hit them because, like I said, if we hit them with these numbers, they don't care because they want to, as long as white people are pissed off about it, the Black liberal is very petty. They don't put their own interests first, so they're just going to go with what pisses white people off. So, when dealing with the Black liberal, we just must talk about how the illegal immigrant doesn't care, how they benefit off of what we fought for, if it's affirmative action or any other right. That's how you got to come at the Black liberals so they can start thinking and say, well, dang, I'm doing all this stomping for people who don't do anything for me. Not only that, they come in our neighborhoods and take our jobs. So that's just one thing. And the other thing is that Blexit thing, which is great. The only thing is, man, I don't trust Fox News, man. Fox News should have, went to the event and gave y'all airtime. Fox News, I feel like if enough pressure is put on by liberals, I feel like Fox News will bend. I feel like they'll apologize. And, it's the same thing when, I don't know if you remember when Jim Acosta, got into it with Trump, and, all the liberal news organizations was mad and they were suing the White House. And then Fox News jumps in with that lawsuit. It's frustrating things like that. I'm hearing now that the DNC plans to boycott Fox News as far as they don't want any of the Democrats debating on a Fox News platform because they are saying it's Trump state-run media.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous because it's these people, I'm telling you, man, we are dealing with people who think the American people are just stupid because what they're acting like CNN, MSNBC, and all these liberal outlets are this fair and balanced media that gives conservatives in Trump a fair shake. You know what I'm saying? As if they're reporting on a balanced level, whereas they get the privilege to host these Democrats because they're more balanced, and Fox News is just some fall. When Fox News does have a lot of Trump criticism, all you got to do is, they got Juan Williams, who's very outspoken. What is that? I forget the gay dude's name.
Shep Smith.
Yeah, Shep Smith. He's on his own show. The man never says anything good about Trump. And they debate Trump vigorously on that network.
And also
CNN,
Chris Matthews, too.
Yeah, exactly. CNN will have like 8 people and one Trump supporter who stutters, who can't get a point out. And then we'll just maul that dude. You know what I'm saying? If a story comes out negative against Trump or in one of his supporters, they jump on it immediately. So for them to come at the Fox and call them like some type of Trump supporting network, it blows my mind. But yeah, so Fox News, I'm hoping that they don't try to change the way they are to fit the liberal narrative. But like I said, I don't know about Fox News, man. I really don't know. But what I want to mention about the Blexit thing is that this. If you notice, the Blexit movement and ADOS movement, which is very controversial, what those two movements have in common, what I'm seeing is that it's pissing off the liberals. What the Blexit movement is doing is just pretty much breaking black folks away from liberalism and seeing other type of ideologies, thinking for themselves. What I like about the ADOS movement, even though I don't agree with everything, is that for the first time I'm seeing black liberals corner Democrats. We may not agree with what they say, but we got to look at it from a strategic position. Do we want black folks to continue to vote in block for liberals? If we don't want that, I say we stay quiet. Let these ADOS, let them do what they do. They are cornering Bernie Sanders. They are cornering Kamala Harris. They're cornering Cory Booker. And they are making these videos go viral, asking them about reparations, asking about black agendas. And this is going viral to other black liberals, and they're starting to get pissed off of what they hear. So if we are thinking like strategic tacticians, we don't say a word. Because the less votes that can go from the black folks, like if black folks completely just give up on the Democrats, they are done. There's no way they can win. I say let them have their fun. You know what I'm saying? Because these Democrats ain't giving them no reparations, man. We're gonna put it like that. That's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. Like Kamala Harris and them can say they can pander, but if one of them would ask them how does reparations look, there will not be an answer. I can guarantee because they don't know how it looks.
And they already pressed Bernie Sanders and on the Breakfast Club, and then Charlemagne was like, "Is it going to be a cash payment?" He was like, "Nope."
Yep. So he said, "I don't believe in just a check." Right now, he told him down the Breakfast Club. Hey man, he told him that on the View twice at the CNN town hall. He said, "Nope." this is viral video of this black girl. Like, she got cornering Bernie Sanders in like a selfie video and said, "Let's talk about these reparations." Yo, that man just walked away. You understand, man? When black liberals see this, man, these Democrats who, hey, they say, you know, we love you, we care about you, we want to fight for your issues. When they see them just so callously just dismiss their issues, this is good. You know what I'm saying? And they sound crazy to us, but strategically, this is getting black folks away from liberalism. So I say, man, go through it. You know what I'm saying? Blexit, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? AUS, do your thing. Because the main goal is, man, we got to get Trump a second term, man. These people are too crazy. The censorship is getting out of control. You know, they are faking hate crimes now to become relevant.
Yeah.
I don't even know, you know, if you realize there's new Captain Marvel movies coming out. It's got a lot of strong feminist undertones. It's like, you know, if I was a woman, I would feel bad because I'm like, why can't women have movies where it's just, you know, she's a strong, you know, she's a feminine woman. Why does she have to be? They always got to be so masculine, and then they always got to prove a point of how they're better than men at something. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't women ever compliment men or be companions with men? It's always like they got to be just completely independent from us. They stomp on us. They don't need us. When we both need each other to create families and build wealth. But anyways, that's a different topic, man. I'm about to get in the gym. That's pretty much all I wanted to rant about, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care, boss.
All right, peace. Great call from my man Tariq. Something on up quite nice. And yeah, the whole thing about ADOS, that's a movement that's going on. You know, it's a lot of stuff that can be taken from that. I can look at the negative, or I can see the positive, or I can do both and just be realistic with the whole situation, for sure. Captain Marvel, I'm gonna go see that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go see that. I'm gonna spend my little $10 or whatever it costs to go, and I'm gonna do a review, and I'm gonna just look at it more from a political point of view, or just in general review it. I'll look at the whole shebang, the political part, the entertainment part, all that good stuff. I'll put a review on my gaming channel. So on the gaming channel, I use that for movie reviews, game reviews, maybe even some live stream gaming. That'll be what I do. And I saw you earlier in the chat, Shreebs. I'm gonna check my Steam gifts and see what we got going on there for sure. All right, let me get to my next call here. I almost had the call. There we go. Let's get back to it. 301, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Did I get through?
Yes, you did. You're on the line.
Oh, yo, I just honestly wanted to ask you advice. I'm a 16-year-old black kid, and I've just been finding myself been constantly conflicted by the liberal and the conservative point of views. Like on one side, sorry, I'm a bit sick. On one side, the left has some good points, but sometimes they just don't make any sense. Like conservatives, they sometimes have it right with like the immigration laws, the immigration stance, and the stance on abortion. I'm just generally confused. Sorry, I didn't think I would actually get on the stream.
It's all good, man. I mean, just so I kind of see where you're coming from. Like, give me an example of a thing that is just kind of confusing you. You're not really understanding which way you should think about a thing. Like, give me one example of a certain issue that you're having a hard time being able to deal with.
For one, the current wave of feminism. I get where they're coming from, and like in the past, their cause was noble and just, but right now they're just fighting over things that don't exist, like the wage gap. That's been proven to be false, and pink tax and just everything on that side. Plus, there's just I agree with what the last guy said. Like they're just like pushing too hard. They're just pushing their agenda a little bit too hard in current media, to the point where it's affecting like comic books and movies, and it's just degrading the quality. I just want to see like some good movies. I just don't need all their agendas pushed in at once.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to have a pretty good grasp on it. You're 16 years old, man. You much more advanced than what I was at that age, for sure, man. I'm twice your age, and when I was that age, man, I didn't know anything about politics, but you got a pretty good grasp on it. Now, the reason why they're doing that is because of a few reasons. First of all, let's not forget about the money part of it, because a lot of these people are funded by special interest groups that have a particular vested interest in seeing things be painted in a certain way. There's a lot of organizations. When you're talking about feminism, I'm not quite sure what the groups are, but when you're talking about the LGBTQIA, ABCD, you have groups like GLSEN, GLAD, et cetera, et cetera. You got all kind of athlete alliance. It's all kind of groups that are out there that are paid. They get big time donations, and their whole purpose is to push particular narratives. A lot of it is for political reasons, personal reasons, or whatever the case may be. So a lot of it is just driven by money. It's a business to go in there and do certain things like that. And then you also have diversity initiatives. Like, look at some of these big companies like a Disney or something like that. They're corporations, and in corporations you have certain little groups within the corporation. I think it was Jason Whitlock who broke it down pretty well, talking about ESPN, which is owned by Disney, by the way. He was saying within ESPN, you have all kind of little groups for the employees. You have a black group, a gay group, a LGBT group, a women's group. There's no white male group. You have an LGBT, and that's it. You could be white and LGBT, but that's pretty much all. You have all these little groups that are like special interest groups within the organization, and each group is trying to one up the other group. They want to have this thing go forward, that thing go forward. You got to have X amount of people doing this that are certain a race or gender or sexuality, whatever the case may be. So if that going on inside the internal corporation, what you're going to get as a finished product will reflect what's happening with their internal organization. Therefore, you're going to get convoluted things that may seem confusing to you, but to people on the inside, it makes sense because all their special interest groups within the company's needs got met. Does it make any sense to you?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and like coming from a black family, like they're mostly like liberal. Like my grandma has an entire Facebook page where she just posts anti-Trump memes.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate, but a lot of that it's just because the media is telling them to do so. I mean, the average person is not really politically inclined like that. They probably don't vote maybe like once every 4 years. If they do vote more than every 4 years, then a lot of them are still kind of driven by what's going on in the media. That's all they really know. They don't really take a lot of time to research. And then also, once you get to be a certain age, it's kind of hard to change your mind and to open you up to thinking differently. If you've been voting one way your whole life and that's all you've ever done, and you've been told that one side is racist, when the media says the guy from the other side is the most racist, it's easy for you to believe it because you've already been preconditioned to think that way.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look at like both sides and see like when I get older, like which part of the political spectrum I want to align myself with.
I mean, I just say whichever one makes sense to you. You know what's right, what's wrong. You know what makes sense, what does not make sense. So whatever feels like it's the right thing for you to do, then that's what you should align yourself with. If it seems weird, if it seems strange, it doesn't make any sense to you, then don't mess with it. You know, and if you really don't know which way to go, do some research, do a little bit of reading on it, look at the background, follow the money. If you see something that's kind of like, if you see a movie that comes out and it has some weird imagery in it, you're like, who was behind this and what's going on? Do some digging to see what's happening. Then you'll understand. It's like, oh, okay. Somebody got paid off to put that in there. Somebody got paid some money. Like they wanted diversity. They wanted this, they wanted that. That's the reason why it's there. It ain't for no reason. Anytime you see a big movie or some kind of music video or something like that, it's big money behind that. When you're talking about that kind of money, it's not a whole lot of mistakes that happen. Things are very deliberate.
Yeah, I see where you're. I see what you mean actually. Yeah, thanks, man. I just wanted to ask you on your opinion because I've been watching your videos a bit lately, and you seem like a really smart dude.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem. See you.
All right now. All right. Shout out to the young caller, 16 years old, man. Wow. So shout out to the young callers. Hopefully that helped. You know, my main thing is when I started to kind of come into conservatism, I just did a lot of research and just digging and figuring out what's going on, connecting dots to see where money leads and to see why things are the way that they are. And shout out to everybody that came in here from not Will Harris, pardon me. Shout out to everybody that came in here from Will Johnson's stream. The stream I did yesterday with him. Hey, that's my brother, Will Johnson. We met at in the Phoenix retreat with Brandon, Candace, Charlie, the whole squad, Kevin for Kevin's Corner, Hayes Brothers, Mason Lucas, everybody. Megan Harris, David Harris Jr., the whole squad. And I saw him again at the White House with YBLS at the end of October, I think that was. It might have been November. I can't really remember. But either way, that's my brother, great dude. And, you know, one thing that he said during the stream that I agree with, aside from everything else I agree with, was we can not see each other for a while. Once we get together, it's like brothers reunited because we're all on the same page. And that's what I really enjoy about going to these events, going to these gatherings and conferences. You're around a lot of like-minded individuals. It's easy to talk to people like that because you're on the same page. People that you kind of on a different page with, it's kind of hard to have a conversation with them. But you could be from different points of view, different walks of life, and still have a great conversation because you're on the same page, just from a philosophical point of view, from a political point of view. I was at a dinner at after the conference, after the Blexit rally in Richmond, with a lot of different guys. I mean, you got myself, you got one guy was in the military doing finance, you had Brandon Tatum, you had one guy was a politician actually in Virginia. Another guy, he was a retired combat veteran, doing a whole lot of different things. I mean, guys from all over the place, just different walks of life, but we're able to have a conversation. My man Rob Smith, who is a gay black conservative, infantry veteran in the Army, we're all able to sit down and have a conversation. Race was irrelevant. The sexuality was irrelevant. We could talk about everything, and everything just flows naturally because we're on the same page. That's how it's supposed to go. But let me get to my next call here. All righty, let's go. 470, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. I saw you on the show. I was on your other channel just looking at you playing video games. And here you is over here on your normal channel, Anthony.
Hey, I had to come over here. Had to move over here because I got my streaming back.
You trying to run from me, Anthony?
Look, ain't nobody scared of nothing. Come on now. I'm doing my thing.
Whatever, Anthony. You think you won't be scared. I get a hold of you, you get scared, Anthony.
No, I'm good.
No, you ain't good. You bad right now, but I'm gonna get you good. But anywho, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm just fine.
That's good, Anthony. I ain't see you on the show on Saturday. Where was you?
Oh, I was at Blexit. I was in Richmond.
Richmond where?
Virginia.
But you ain't come by here in Atlanta to see me, Anthony. Why not?
I'm not going to come to see you, sir. So don't get your hopes up for that.
Hold on, Anthony. Don't misgender me, Anthony. It's ma'am, Anthony. What is wrong with you?
Hey, I'm not going to come see you, sir. I'm sorry for misgendering.
Excuse me, Anthony. Don't make me report you. You be back over there on ABL gaming now.
Hey, your voice box messed up. You got to get that tightened up now.
Whatever, Anthony. You making me mad. You gonna make that man come out of me, but I'm gonna put him away. But anywho, Anthony, I'm just so I don't know what to say about R. Kelly, Anthony. What is wrong with him?
I mean, hey, he's been like that for a while. This ain't nothing new. I don't know what's wrong with him. He got some problems though.
He must have something wrong. He just went off on Gayle King. What is wrong? He don't know Oprah will put him down. You don't mess with Gayle.
Yeah, Oprah will put him down, but hey, I don't know what he was thinking. He shouldn't even say anything. He should have just kept his mouth shut and waited until the trial happened, because a lawyer probably told him don't do that because they could use that in court against him, and they will use it against him.
He just went crazy, Anthony. What's wrong with him? He need to help. He keep messing with them little babies. He need to get him a grown woman like me. I don't know what's wrong with him.
He need to go to jail. Is what he need. He need to go to the penitentiary. That's what he need to do.
Well, if he do, he gonna be getting some bump and grinding in. But anywho. And I heard what you said earlier, Anthony.
What happened?
You said that you were going to have this thing with all your other friends that be around here talking about the Republicans as our friends and how y'all just love Donald Trump, the Orange fan, and all that kind of stuff. And you said somebody's name, and it just sent the shiver up my spine, Anthony. I just didn't know what to do. Oh, it just took me somewhere, Anthony. I just had to call in.
Well, I don't know who that was. I'm not really sure who you're referring to, but we are going to maybe do some speaking engagements, a tour and whatnot. That'd be the goal here, but I'm not sure who you're speaking of, so I can't really comment on that.
Whatever, Anthony. You know who I'm talking about. Amazing Lucas.
Oh boy, here we go.
Just do something to me, Anthony.
Yeah, I bet he does.
Anywho, Anthony, I know you got a little attitude when it comes to me calling your show and everything. But you know, I don't be meaning no harm, and I ain't going to say nothing crazy to get you in trouble because I like your show, Anthony.
Well, I thank you. I appreciate that.
And I just want to know why you talk so bad about Kamala and Corey, Anthony. I just don't understand. Why are you just so against them?
They're a bunch of people I don't want to have to be the president. I don't want Kamala. I don't want Corey. You got two phony people with skeletons in their closet. I'm good. You know, they have no room in my political world, so they can just go somewhere else.
You just, Anthony, you in a sunken place. Well, I'm going to get you up, Anthony. I'm going to get you where you need to be because I just know you just a little confused and them folks got you brainwashed, but we going to help you. You and Amazing and Will and anybody else you got out there.
Oh, okay. We'll see. We'll see about that.
That you running these streets with. And that other little man that's on here now, I see him too because it seems like when you look at one of y'all videos, a bunch of y'all just start popping up.
Hey, we out here. It's a movement. It ain't going to stop. You're going to have more and more to keep coming out.
Just like this man, what is his name? Kevin's Corner. What is wrong with him? Who he think he is with that nice, shining black bald head?
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Why, Anthony? Why you trying to say here we go?
Look, I don't got no time for all your lusting over these men's here. So we need to go ahead and wrap it up.
Whatever, Anthony. I be lusting over you too, but I ain't gonna tell you.
No, we good. We good on that. So I thank you for your call.
Whatever, Anthony. You gonna be on Saturday or you gonna be running around with the Blexit friends?
I'll be back Saturday.
Okay, Anthony. I'm gonna call you Saturday, Anthony. You had your friends Amazing and Kevin with that nice shiny bald head, Anthony. I'm gonna talk to you later, okay?
All right, now. Take care.
Okay, Anthony.
Bye. I still don't know who that is to this day. That could be anybody. I thought it was Mason Lucas, but I found out that it's not him. So I don't know who that is. That could be any one of y'all out there that just want to troll me, just want to I don't know, just act up and act crazy. But I heard a voice box. The voice got real high, and I heard the voice box come out and just act a little bit crazy. So I really don't know who that is. Now I'm having you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Anthony.
All right, Anthony. Great name.
Yes. How you doing, Anthony?
Everything is great. About yourself?
Not bad. Hey, listen. I just want to go over a couple of things here. First of all, I just want to say great show as always. And I'm trying to understand something here. You know, for a little while, I've been actually a independent for years, up until about 2012. And 2012, you know, I started kind of like leaning more to the right. And that's for the reason regarding about policies and just seeing how the left was, you know, how they've been acting. And I'm saying to myself, there's just no possible way that I could really consider myself being, you know, down the middle independent. So in 2015, I registered myself as a, you know, conservative Republican. But the thing that gets me here with this whole thing with the Democrats, and by the way, this is going to be an interesting 20 months, seeing the next 20 months, seeing the Democrats, you know, eat each other up. They're going to be eating their own, you know, after this whole thing with AOC and everything, and this whole thing with Omar. I mean, it's actually very sad, because should be a time in this country where we should be really in a good spot with the economy doing well. You know, we finally have a leader that's really looking out for the American people, trying to, you know, make this country better, you know, and seeing what I'm looking at and how the Democrats are, they're more about hating on Trump than they are doing well for this country. And I just want to hear your opinion, you know, regarding about how you feel the Democrats have been, I'm going to say, since 2016. Do you feel that they're going way too far to the left, where it's actually going to hurt them? You know, maybe, you know, this whole impeachment thing that you're constantly hearing, you know, especially through Maxine Waters, you know, impeach 45. I think this is really going to hurt them. And, you know, we need to keep, you know, a guy like Trump in president, you know, somebody who is not a typical politician who, you know, I know some people don't like what he says, but that's fine. I didn't vote for the guy because of what he says. I voted for the guy because I felt that this is the guy that I know who can really do well for this country. What is your feedback on that?
Well, there's a lot there. I'm not really sure what I can comment on first. I think that the left, they're going to keep trying to resist no matter what, simply because they don't want to have the president in there. They have pretty much run their campaign on that, so they're kind of like in between the rock and the hard place. If they continue to obstruct, they can't get anything done. So some constituents may not like that, because they're like, okay, we voted you in office to get things done, but you're not doing anything. On the other hand, if they do things, then they're not resisting enough. So those who elected them for that purpose are upset. So they're just kind of in the weird space. I think at the end of the day, all of it will just kind of work against their actual goal of trying to get Trump out of office. It'll actually get them out of office more. They don't have anybody that's really viable on their side of the aisle to run. And the people that they do have that are viable are going to cause infighting within the Democratic Party itself. So the end result is going to be yet another victory for Donald Trump. And I can't wait personally for the whole thing to play out. And nobody can really be blamed but the Democrats. If they had better candidates, if they had a better platform, they may have a chance. But they've run their party into the ground, fractured it, and have tried to resist the president to the point where they're not getting anything done. That's their own downfall. That's their own misdeeds that have caused their current situation to be what it is.
Well, they can't go against Trump, against his policies, because they really have nothing there, because, you know, what he's doing, you know, the economy's doing really well with these new trade deals that he's doing. There's not much for them to really go head to head with him on, because, again, what could, you know, the prison reform and everything, the things that, you know, he's passed. And, you know, the other day I was talking to somebody that I work with, and he was like, oh, Trump's a racist. And I said, okay, you know what? Give me one fact that Trump is a racist. And he was like, oh, he did something back in the early 70s. And I said, see, look, there you go. You don't even know the whole story. And I'm like, just that comment alone tells me that you don't even know what the whole thing is. And he said, well, tell me one thing that Trump did do that is not racism. And I says, well, one, if I'm correct, Anthony, if I'm correct on this one, didn't he pardon two Black Americans?
Yes, he pardoned Jack Johnson posthumously, and he also, I'm not sure if it was pardon or if it was just a commutation of Alice Marie Johnson's sentence, but she was in prison for selling drugs, first time offense. She was in there for like 20 years, I think, and then he let her out. I think it might have been somebody else who got let out of jail too. So at least two people.
Yeah, I think she was at the. I think she was at the speech that he had 2 weeks ago. What do you call that?
State of the Union.
State of the Union. Thank you. Yes, I think she was there because I remember he was talking about that, and they announced her and everything, and she was on there. But one other last thing I just basically want to state. When are you going to go on Blexit with Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum?
Well, I was there over the weekend.
Were you?
Yes, I was in Richmond, Virginia.
I got to catch that. I didn't see that. Oh, I got to catch that.
I wasn't on stage speaking, but I was at the actual event.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why. Okay, maybe that's why.
Right,
okay.
Right, yeah.
Well, listen, just one final thing here. You know, it's interesting. You know, years ago, you know, all these celebrities, you know, all loved Trump. They wanted to take their picture with him. He was the go-to guy for everything. All of a sudden, when he ran for president, it just became Trump this, Trump that. You know, Trump is a racist. You know, I just, you know, as an adult, I mean, I can see, you know, the young kids, they don't know. They're kind of like dumb and naive. You know, the little, you know, they don't really know the real world yet. But when you see like people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, I used to be a big fan of Robert De Niro. I can't stand him anymore because he's like a big crybaby. But it's like all these people like wanted to take that picture with him. Okay, all these people, and now all of a sudden they go to hate him. It just shows how easily people could be brainwashed. So I just want to hear your opinion on that one, and I'm going to let you get going. And as always, a great show. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks.
Yeah, see, the average person that's out here in the world, just the average everyday normie, it's kind of easy to tell them pretty much anything that they want to hear. And the way that the media is, they're very good at crafting these things. They're very good. They know what will trigger certain people. They know certain keywords to use. They know certain tones to say it in. Certain, like you got these broadcasters, they're trained in speaking in a convincing way. And they change up the tone depending upon how they want you to react. You know, it's kind of like watching the sitcom and they lead up to a joke, and then the audience, you have the canned laughter. It's like a cue to go ahead and laugh, or for that moment to be appropriate to laugh at. Whereas if they didn't have the canned laughter, you may not get the same response from the crowd. That's kind of how they do with the media on television. That's why I prefer to read. I read all the time. Most of my day is spent reading. I don't really watch. I read more news than I watch. Because when you read something, you're able to get a better understanding of what's happening. You get more details. You don't get as much editorializing, unless it's an op-ed or something stupid like that. But I'm talking about just basic random news that happens. You know, X, Y, and Z happened at X, Y, and Z place. Read it. You be able to get a better understanding rather than watching it, because you got to do it with the theatrics, you know, dramatization and lighting effects, music, all that kind of other distracting stuff that's meant to make you have a certain mindset. So that's what that is. That's how people are easily brainwashed, because of stuff like that. Tactics that have been working for a very long time that are tried and true and are done intentionally. That's how that works. Let me see here. Doobie Doo says, ABL, what's your opinion about Mark Meadows using Lynn Patton to prove Trump isn't a racist? Was that a racist act by Mark Meadows? Now, my question is, how did he use her? She came on her own volition. So if I say I want to come to State of the Union address and somebody says, okay, go for it, come on, did they use me? I came on my own. She has her own free will. She has her own agency. you can't use somebody that, like, if somebody says I want to come, you didn't use them, they came on their own. You didn't just get put into a doggy bag and against your own will and then unleashed in front of the crowd. Like, hey, here's a black person. They didn't have an inanimate object, a picture or a statue of the person that says, hey, this is a black person and they are here because, this is a human being. They wanted to be there. And she had made previous statements about how Trump was not a racist and that she would not work for a man that was a racist. So her being there was her showing force against her former friend. This is also a character witness because Michael Cohen was responsible for getting Lynn Patton into the Trump sphere. So, she was there on her own free will. You can't say that he used her. Like, to say that he used her is like racist in itself. Not calling the person that said that a racist, but that kind of thought process is because they have their own free will to do what they want. But I'll leave that right there for now. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got Windy City, Liza Jean, Maurice Delk, Dormant, Pixie, Desert Mav, Mike A. Shout out to all y'all. Yeah, she has her own free will. She can do what she want to do. You know, like if I decide to go to the White, it's just like Al Sharpton talking about when we went to the White House with YBLS. Oh, they were used as props. They put MAGA hats on them. It's like last time I checked, I flew on the plane. You know, I got my own MAGA hat. You know, I have my own suit that I bought. Like it ain't like they just. I'm not some kind of monkey. You just put clothes on and just parade around like I'm a pet. I'm my own man. I'm a grown man. I'm 34 years old. Like I did that on my own. Like that's just not like they ain't just round me up and say, "Hey, come to the White House." Nah, I did that on my own because I wanted to. That's what I did. Seven 3, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Windy City.
Windy City, what's going on with you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing today?
Everything's great. How about yourself?
Good. So this the original channel or whatever that got banned or suspended or whatever they call it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're back in full effect, man. That's good. The gaming channel wasn't bad though too. It's the same thing, just different channel.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, so it was cool. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. What's some of the topics? R. Kelly?
Yeah, R. Kelly. You see that crazy interview?
I just caught clips of it right now. I've been ripping and running all day long, and it seemed like he freaked out and walked off the set or something. I don't know. I was hoping maybe you could fill me in on what the heck happened with this guy.
Well, what happened was he was being interviewed about the allegations, and really it was dumb to even do that because you have an open case. Why would you even be talking about anything at all? You should have been totally quiet. But Gayle King was asking him some basic questions about what's going on. Not even really about the open cases. And then he just flipped out because he's like, y'all not believing me. I can't even see my kids, this, that, and the third. He just really went off.
He can't see his kid. Why can't he see his kid?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
He was just playing the victim or something?
Definitely playing the victim, trying to act like, people are just coming down on him unnecessarily, all kind of stuff. It was really just something to see. He went over the top, really, for no reason, in my humble opinion.
To me, it's like, he's a dog. He has dogged out a lot of females. You can't really hold that against him, but I think we spoke about it before. It's like the whole, this thing with the underage chicks. That's the issue to me.
Yeah, like if you have, if you're dealing with adult women and it's consensual, that's not even the point. It's about these little girls he's dealing with. Just like when he was married to Aaliyah, when he was 27 and she was 15.
What was that? That had to be almost 20 years ago or something.
Yeah,
that was probably in the 90s.
That was like 25 years ago. That was 25 years ago, 1994.
Yeah, so this guy has a history of 25 years of basically
at least
being a pedophile, I would say,
Right.
So, yeah, that's not good. He's out of there. He's done. But he did it to himself. He's an idiot.
Yeah, it's his own fault.
Don't mess with little kids. It's not real complicated. I don't know why for some people.
Correct. Exactly.
It's fair. It's reasonable. I wouldn't want nobody touching on my little kid.
Right.
And what was some of the other one? Oh, what's the new Trump probe? What is this about? How much more money are they going to blow? This whole Mueller thing is coming out. It's a big it's going to be nothing, and it's like 17 million or 20 million last time I checked. I don't even know the price tab on it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of money that's been spent for no reason. I think they said it's been like 200 interviews or something crazy, like a whole lot of time, a whole lot of money, resources expended for no reason. So now they're going to try to figure out if he obstructed justice or if he had any abuse of power. And not just him, they've requested documents from like 81 people and entities. So, and they got 2 weeks to get the documents. They're not going to find anything because if Bob Mueller found anything like that, they're trying to find now an investigation with Russia, he could have brought that up, just like people that are getting locked up for perjury and stuff like that. See, well, it's another way to continue the resistance because Mueller's done for now with the investigations. Now they gotta go to the next thing.
I'm telling you, like, that's what aggravates me is the amount of money that they wasted on this garbage because Hillary lost. Mueller's a dirtbag all day long, and they were wrapping people up close to him, trying to get him to flip or say anything on Trump. That's what they were doing. That's like an old technique. Even local PDs do that. They'll grab your homeboy looking for you, like, oh, we know you did this, this, and this, but, you know, tell us about this guy, and maybe we can work something out. You know, it's the oldest trick in the book, what they were trying to do. And then, like, the stuff with Roger Stone, a lot of the stuff was garbage. Then I seen another thing, Adam Shifty Eyes or whatever. This guy's another total loser, dirtbag. He like hired some big time anti-Trump lawyer or something like that, or it was something crazy to waste more money on some stupid investigation. But that's what aggravates me. Like when Americans need to wake up, when they had the votes for the Senate and all that, they let the Dems take the Senate.
That's right.
And we knew this was going to happen. As soon as they take the Senate, they're going to start investigating all this stupid stuff. It's going to amount to nothing. And who foots the bill at the end of the day? The American taxpayer. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. And then all that money, now this investigation, what's that going to cost? Think about the amount of change and difference positive we could have made in all types of Americans' lives with this amount of money.
It definitely could have been a big difference with that money that's being wasted, really just thrown down the garbage.
And it's all for politics. That's what it just aggravates me so much, and it's all for nothing. And now, like, even the mainstream main media is like, they're not talking about like, oh, the whole Russian thing was garbage. What's his name told us? What's his name? Van Jones admitted it was a nothing burger. A year ago?
Yeah, he did. And then
it was all to like, what do they call that? Defamation of character of Donald Trump. That's what the whole thing was about.
It was funny because Van Jones came out recently, and he was at CPAC. Like, this just happened a few days ago, and he saw the guy that came up to him and asked him the question. He was like talking to him or whatever, and got him on camera. He saw that guy and was pointing him out, talking about, here's the guy pretending to be my friend. I got a nothing burger thing on camera. And then James O'Keefe, the guy from Project Veritas, the big boss, showed up and was like, hey, I'm James O'Keefe. And then Van Jones was like, well, you should just play the whole thing. You chopped it up. You didn't play the whole thing in full context. So they played the entire thing in full context and nothing changed. He said it was nothing burger. The whole video showed no other context other than what he said. So he's kind of a weird guy. You should just say that what he said was real and just leave it at that.
Yeah, well, now his handlers, because he don't want his handlers to get upset with him. He's still trying to keep his job and
yeah, you're right.
Be the anti-Trump. What I don't like about him is that he hooked up with Trump's son-in-law and helped him with this criminal justice reform and all this stuff.
Right.
Which was, they threw an olive branch to him, and then you're still going to dog him?
Yeah, exactly.
You're still going to talk about the president like a dog? Because if that's me, I'm like, if this guy comes anywhere near the White House, throw him out of the door, face first.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just so... And it's the same thing. They did the same thing, Jesse Jackson, when he ran for president, what was it, in the 80s or 90s? Trump endorsed him, gave him like $1 million. Then you turn around 20 years later and talk about him like he's a dog.
That's
right.
It's
just ridiculous, man. These people are nuts, man, and I'm so sick of it.
I hear you on that, 1,000%.
And then this AOC, she ain't even been in office 6 months, and she already ruined 25,000 good-paying jobs for New York.
Oh, man. Countless jobs, billions of dollars, all kind of stuff. I was watching MSNBC, and this guy that's on there, he's a pretty liberal guy. I saw he's so liberal that he was trying to attack Bob Johnson, the black guy that was the owner of BET, a billionaire. He tried to attack him for supporting
Trump. That was saying
Trump.
that he likes Trump. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that dude. This dude was even saying how bad that the whole deal was. how bad AOC was for removing Amazon from New York. A super liberal guy. So you got even the most liberal of people that are against what AOC did. So you got a big time fracture in the government here.
And it's like people don't realize. I've seen another thing on YouTube. I was watching a channel, and they have dumbed Americans down so much that they were saying that gentrification is bad because it kicks out poor people that used to live in the hood. That was kind of like their argument, and they're trying to justify what this lady just did with all these jobs.
It doesn't make any sense because they don't understand the way business works. They don't get it. They coming from no.
They have Trump derangement syndrome. They hate him, and that's all it. So all logic goes right out the window.
Yeah, no, there's zero logic, none whatsoever.
That's the problem with the left. They think with their feelings. They don't think with their brain.
Correct.
It's just so frustrating. It's just so annoying. And then it's like, even with this universal health care and all this stuff, don't they realize that the government is pretty corrupt and been lying to the American people since day one? Yes. And it's history of it. Like even these, pretty much every major conflict and war that there's been, it's all been false flags, things of that nature. And now you want to give them control of a healthcare system and think that it's going to run smoothly and not be corrupt, and it's going to be the worst thing that ever happened. And that's going to be their excuse, that and climate change, to just tax the hell out of every working American,
right,
and turn America into a socialist dump.
I hear you, man. I do.
And it just gets so frustrating. It's like, when will people wake up? Don't they realize that this is corporate media and they do what their masters tell them to do?
They should realize that, but not everybody does. But hey, Winning City, man, I got to get to a few more calls, man. I definitely appreciate you the call as always.
All right, man, I'm going to finish watching the show and take it easy, and hello to everybody in the chat, and have a good one, ABL.
All right, man, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you to Winning City for the call. Always a great one. But let me get to my next call here. Let's go. American Joe, what's going on with you, boss?
What's happening, brother? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, brother. So did you get a chance to watch the DHS secretary at the Congress today?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, she spent about 3 hours in front of Congress, and all the Democrats can talk about. Meanwhile, well, first, let me set the stage, okay? She came to Congress and talked about the absolute crisis on the southern border right now. In February, there were 76,000 illegals caught crossing the southern border, and those are the ones they caught. That doesn't count the number we didn't catch, okay? So she's basically there reinforcing what Donald Trump has been talking about for a long time now, and what Democrats have been trying to block every which way. And all the left can talk about are how children are being locked in cages at the southern border. That's all they can talk about. So here we have Democrats who, they care about a child who's behind a chain link fence, but they don't care about a newborn child who escaped the death trap of a womb when they tried to abort him. You know, they want that child put down. But heaven forbid, when children are brought across the border, we put them someplace so we can figure out where their parents are, who their parents are, who are these adults with them? Are they trying to traffic these kids into sex trade, or what are they trying to do with these kids? And where are the parents at? So the Democrats, in my opinion, I watched it and they came off looking like idiots as usual. There were some strong Republican voices there. I was pretty happy to hear them coming out in favor of the national emergency. So, yeah, I think, you know, people ask the question, you know, if this was such an emergency for Donald Trump, why did he wait so long to talk about it? And I don't think that's the right way to think about it. There's been a lot. That southern border has been an emergency for decades. OK, it's an ongoing situation, an ongoing problem that's getting worse. And Donald Trump's the first man to step up with the balls to say, you know what, let's get it fixed now.
Well, you know, yeah, he's been speaking about it since that was during the campaign. He's been speaking about it. So, you know, people just, you know, as far as the wording, that's kind of irrelevant. The point is that it's a problem that needs to be solved, and needs to be solved sooner than later. And it's becoming a bigger problem now because you're starting to see more and more so-called family units coming, kids coming. You got kids dying. It's weird how the Democrats will say that it's not an emergency, Yet at the same time, they talk about how, well, the kids must stop dying and all this and that. So which one is it? Is it something that's serious, like you got to stop right now, or is it not? I don't really understand.
You'd have to be, I mean, the fact that, you know, we have each and every one of these major leaders on the Democratic side on video talking about this as a problem just 6 years ago, and now all of a sudden it's not a problem because they hate Donald Trump. They're still mad that they lost in 2016. They want to do everything they can do to get him out of office. They're investigating. They're coming up with ways to find crimes on a man. And that's not how the justice system is supposed to work. If you have a supposed crime, like let's take the Russia collusion hoax, for example, okay? Imaginary crime that never happened. Okay, we're going to investigate that for 2 years. When that comes up with absolutely nothing, oh, well, crap, we can't let him off the hook. Let's just dig into every aspect of his life, and let's just see what we can find, because I'm sure a billionaire businessman has something somewhere we can find.
Right, exactly.
And it's outrageous.
It really is.
And the other thing I want to talk about is this whole climate change BS that they're talking about so much. So AOC came out. We all know we got 12 years. The human race will be extinct in 12 years if we don't do something right now.
Yeah.
So I need you guys to green light the new Green Deal. Give me $27 trillion so we can start getting rid of these airplanes and getting rid of these gas-powered cars so that hopefully we can save the world. Get the hell out of here. So the climate has been changing. If you follow science at all, the climate has been changing. It's in constant state of change.
Right. It's kind of ridiculous to think that human beings can change the Earth's weather. I mean, you got this big thing in the sky called the sun. I mean, that thing right there is pretty unpredictable. You don't know what it's going to do from day to day. I mean, you get one solar flare and all humanity is pretty much just helpless. No technology, no nothing. So to think that we can just do things here like invest money and that's going to change it is really just small-minded, and you're not understanding what's really going on in the whole universe around us.
No, and let's say humans did impact our climate in some way. Let's just say that's true. When did the Industrial Revolution kick off? When did we start off with factories? What are we talking? A couple hundred years ago, right? Industrial Revolution. I'm not a historian, okay? Let's say it's been a couple hundred years. We're going to reverse that imaginary damage we supposedly created in 12 years or in 10 years by what? Making high-powered trains? Are you kidding me right now? And what about people who drive cars? I know a lot of people who drive cars, and they have beautiful cars that they've had for 30, 40, and 50 years that they keep pristine, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to tell millions of people across America that, sorry, no more gas for you, no more fueling stations because we're going to shut it all down. That doesn't make any sense.
It makes zero sense. And then the thing about it is, we're talking about the USA only. This is only one country out of 193 recognized countries by the UN. So, I mean, we're not talking about China, where all the pollution really happens. I mean, we're talking about pollution. The pollution that we have here in the U.S. is zero compared to China, where you can't even really go outside without a gas mask on, essentially. Like in some cities, like you're smoking 3 packs a day just by being outside. So, if we're going to try to clean up America and we're going to like change global warming, what about other countries on the globe? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it would have to be a universal move, and we know that's never going to happen. Are you kidding me? 1 billion people in India, you think they care?
Nope.
They don't care. So, yeah, any place that's got billions of people crammed into a tiny space, we're actually a pretty small country by some standards across the world.
Correct.
I mean, there's countries that have 4 times our population.
Exactly. And even smaller spaces, like some of these cities in China, Japan. I mean, you're talking about 20 million people in one city. Like one city, talking about 20 million people, and they're trying to create mega cities like 100 million people in one city. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. And let me give you my last piece of evidence that this climate change is a big bunch of crap. So we've all seen all the movies, right, where the asteroids come into Earth and it's going to destroy Earth, right? What would real scientists say if they knew that there was an asteroid that was going to hit Earth in 12 years and it was going to destroy everything? What would they say? Would they be writing, these papers that they would pass off to their peers, peer-reviewed journals, and talk about this somewhere? Or would they be clamoring the bells of hysteria saying, we got to do something, guys. We got to fix this problem? They're not doing that. You don't hear any of the scientists out there doing that. All you hear is these freaking talking heads on the left side of the politics, the Bernie Sanders and AOC. They're the only ones talking about it. Oh, and Al Gore. Didn't Al Gore say the world was going to be over like 10 years ago or something?
Yeah, Al Gore's been saying a whole lot of different things. Al Gore is just a big windbag, really.
Yeah. All right, ABL, man. I'll let you get back to your other callers. Keep doing what you do, my friend.
Thank you for the call, man. Tell everybody how to get in contact with you, man, how to subscribe to your channel, all that good stuff.
I appreciate you, brother. American Joe Show. You guys can just search me out on YouTube. There's a link there in the channel. I think he put it there. And if you guys like hearing about President Trump and how amazing he is and how he's the best president I've seen in my lifetime, then come on over and watch my channel.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Good night, brother.
Good night. All right. Thanks to my man, American Joe, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah, fantastic caller. Yeah, give him some more subs. You know, when he first started calling, he had like about 50 subs. He was just getting started at almost like ground zero. Now he has like, 6,700 subs. So I want to see 10,000 and then 50,000 and then 100,000. So shout out to my man, American Joe, for sure. Let me get to my next call here. 602, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Fred. How are you tonight, Anthony?
Everything is great. How about yourself?
I can't complain. So I wanted to talk about the Green New Deal and a couple other things. The Green New Deal, man, it's going to affect people like if this were to go through, it would affecting the oil consumption. Like a lot of the transportation sector is devoted toward just sand, water, all kinds of different stuff, oil, all kinds of different stuff in terms of transportation. So you have Oklahoma, you have the Oklahoma oil fields, you have the Texas oil fields, you have the North Dakota oil fields, you have oil fields that are in PA, West Virginia, Ohio, like that area, where those states all come together. And then you have Alaska, Canada. So the list goes on and on and on. And if you were to take all those jobs and just nix them, then the really good, high-paying jobs that, like me, I do government loads, those contracts would just go down to nil. So, because everybody's scrambling, trying to undercut everybody, because you have so many trucks on the road and not enough work.
Right.
We're not even talking about the planes. Are you kidding me? We're going to kill planes? The guys that are going to be throwing the bags to the guys that fuel, to the guys that work in the air. How?
It's a whole industry. I mean, people that need to travel for their jobs. Like you got some people that commute on planes to their jobs. Like people got kids that live across the country, across the world. I mean, like this has zero thought process behind it as far as what it will actually do if it were to go through.
How do you sell this? How do you pitch this? Like
the only way you're going to be able to sell it is just by calling it the Green New Deal to people that think that if it's green, then it means that it's going to be some kind of way, saving the globe. They're not going to think about what's inside. You can only sell it to those that are just ignorant people who don't want to actually learn anything. That's all you're going to be able to do.
What if it accidentally passed? Because you have stuff sometimes that gets snuck in, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why we're doing the $8 billion, because the money that we actually got for the wall, is very, very little of the whatever money we did get was for an actual wall or barrier, right? So, if this actually was to get passed, I think the people who have to actually enact this out would be like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, how are we going to do this? It's almost insurmountable. not only that, I wanted to switch directions. I want to talk about what do you know about. I haven't really been following the R. Kelly situation. Tell me what you know. Tell me the good.
Well, okay. Now, I've not seen everything closely about all the details, but I know a few things. First of all, you had a documentary that came out. It was like a few.
I saw it.
Yeah, you saw. Okay, you saw that. So
it's on Lifetime. It's six episodes. It's actually pretty. Like I watch Lifetime if I want to go to sleep. You know. So I haven't watched the whole thing. Right? But yeah, it was actually. Well, I watch crime shows. I don't watch Lifetime, right, at all. But I just wanted to see the whole R. Kelly thing, right? But I watch crime shows when I'm going to sleep, like, Forensic Files, because it's, kind of boring. But go ahead, tell me what you know.
Yeah, so basically it was like the documentary comes out on Lifetime, and then as a result of that, you have new things that are being started by the FBI, new investigations that are happening from the local police, I think, in Chicago. And as a result of the investigations, he's now being charged with 10 counts of I think some kind of abuse of women or children or something. I'm not really sure what the charges are, but he has new charges. So people are saying that he is keeping girls hostage, touching little girls or whatever. And for some reason, I'm not really sure.
Still currently?
Huh?
You mean he is still currently got people hostage?
Well, I don't know about currently. I don't know about right now today. Maybe. But I think the charges are alleging that. I'm not really sure if it's in the past or right now. But either way it goes, he has the charges. He got locked up and then released on bond that somebody posted. It was a daycare worker. A random lady posted his bond because he didn't have the money to post it. The bond was $1 million. He needed $100,000 to post it, and she came up with the money. But anyway, so he gets released, and then he decides to go to Good Morning America and do an interview with Gayle King, and it was pretty explosive.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the biggest question I have for all the community, it's not just the black community, right? But just all America, because this guy was huge. You know what I mean? Like, I believe I can fly. Like, that's a inspirational song that it's played on. All kinds of different movies, all kinds of different stuff. The biggest question I have is, how did we get to this point? How did we? He had this in people's face. You know what I mean? Like, he had this. It would be like me writing a song about murdering people, and they're evidence of me actually murdering people, right? And I was actually just writing songs about murdering people. And there's all this evidence of me doing it too, right? Like, but the smoking gun has been on the television for 15 years.
Yes, you're right. Like the sex tape came out with a little girl in it, and then it was stuff like in the songs he would tell you what he does. My mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me yes. What are you talking about, sir? Why would your mind say no? You see what I'm saying? And then he was married to Aaliyah. That's documented evidence. There's all kind of things that's out there. He tells you what he does. So, it's all there. I'm not really sure how he's been able to get away with it so far.
How is the law? How is the law allow him to get away with this?
I will say this: he did get in trouble. He did go to trial in like early 2000s for child pornography, but he wound up beating the case because the girl in the video said that it wasn't her. Now, you know what happened there. She probably got paid off, and so did her family. But that was definitely him in the video, and it was definitely her in the video because her aunt said it was her. But she said it was not her. So that's the only reason why he got off is because they couldn't prove it. You got to have the witness who's going to say that that's me, I'm a victim. If you have no victim, you have no crime in this particular case, unfortunately.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you get to some other callers. I'm still doing the thing with Andrew Yang. Hopefully, we're going to see how that plays out. I'm really nervous. You know, believe in God, pray for me. I'm trying to, I want to seek to understand first and seek to be understood second. I want to understand why people believe the things that they believe, because you got some really smart people that believe some really dumb things, and I want to seek to understand why they believe those things. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. Makes a lot of sense.
And I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around what some of these people believe. I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for taking my call tonight, man. And keep on keeping on. You're doing a great job.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care. Bye.
All right. Thank you to my man Fred for the call. I think that'll be a wrap for my calls for tonight. I appreciate all you guys for calling in. Before I go, I'm gonna show you guys this clip from R. Kelly, and to give you a little bit of context in case you haven't seen it yet. Now, this is from Good Morning America, where he was on with Gayle King. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, let's go ahead and do this.
Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're gonna.
This is not true.
Do you see this, like all this action right here with the makeup and like are we seeing this? Like, are we on the same page here? Like, okay, let's just keep going.
This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted, being raped, okay? They really are on chain.
So, yeah, that was what everybody's talking about right now. So, R is a nut. And I'm going to show you guys one last clip, then I go ahead and wrap it on up for the night. Now, if you laugh, hey, I can't control it if you laugh. That's not my fault if you laugh. But you got to see this clip. You have to see it for your own. You got to see it for yourself. Hold on, let's check it out.
I got it. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America. America. Beautiful. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Who wants to come back with us to America? To America.
Okay, in case you didn't hear him, do you have your passport? Do you have your shots? Do you like to come? Would you like to come back to America? He's in Ethiopia at the time talking about that. So that's R. Kelly for you. Really trying to. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Would you like to come back with Rob to America? Now, it wasn't lyrics to the song. He was just remixing it for where he was at in Ethiopia. So That's your man Rob. Now, you telling me that this guy is innocent? Okay. All right. I mean, whatever. We're going to find out in the court. We're going to see what happens. But come on. This guy, it ain't all the way there. Okay. That's going to be a wrap for me. Thank y'all for joining. I really appreciate it. Shout out to all the moderators. You guys do a great job. Hopefully I got everybody from the other channel over here too. We got Liza Jean, Shreve, Cynthia Webb. I saw you in the chat earlier, Cynthia. Thank you for joining. Dan Larkin, Sushi, Bill from the Hills, Bob Pie, Mark Anthony, Lucian Millo, Michelle A, Catherine K, P. Uriza, Dina Jones, Elin Zen, Zero Cool, Omar Adams, T-Pain, Protocol, friends. I thank you all for joining. Thank you all for modding. I really appreciate you guys, what you do all the time. And I'll be back on this channel again Saturday with another live stream. And also, I think I'll be watching Captain Marvel tomorrow. So you don't have to. And I'll probably put a review over on ABL Gaming. So I won't have that channel go to waste. You'll see stuff over on ABL Gaming for sure. And shout out to all you guys who stood with me during this time where I was banned on this channel and went over to the new channel to watch ABL live over there. I appreciate y'all for doing that. And that is all I got. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.